And it would seem that we're live. I'm gonna give it a second for the lag because it's YouTube, you know the drill. Actually, let me tell the Discord that I'm live because I kind of forgot. I got rattled today. I got really rattled today for 30 minutes. I said, close enough. Alright. What up, homeboys? It is the unofficial podcast. It is the episode, I kind of forgot the count already. 15th, is it? It's been a while. It's been a while. The 15th episode of the unofficial podcast. Today we're joined by Ebonhardt, HelloJtello, and Nohitjerome. Where is Nohitjerome? He's hiding in there. He's in a spaceship or some sort. Are you floating? Look at that, the lights! That's a spaceship! It's taking him! And today we're gonna talk about Blackwing Lair. So, how you doing, Ebon?
Honestly, I'm good. I'm good. Tired, but good. How about you?
It's been a tiring week. How you doing, Tello?
Same thing, man. Just hanging in there, trying to lock in as much as possible. And I feel good. I had a lot of food today, so life's alright.
That's a good way to put it. And how you doing, Jerome?
I've never been better. This is the best day ever.
Yeah, you do seem like you're enjoying yourself right now. I want to have what he's having.
He lied as naturally as he breathed.
He's in deep REM right now. I don't even know if he's alive. I think he's in deep REM.
I think he's just meeting Christ.
It's very possible.
Well, God
Great
bless
to
you,
be here.
brother. I hope you find what
Did you
you're looking
sleep?
for.
I don't even know if he's awake right now. His eyes are... I can't tell.
He's been
This
making
might
Just
be
way.
an
snoring middle of the show.
This may be an AI image.
He called me. He said, Medina, I've been kicking gnomes until 5 a.m. last night. I'm really tired.
Oh, no.
Very well, so we got a lot to talk about today, actually. And this is something I wanted to do earlier on in the raid, and I kind of didn't have time for a while. But basically, I wanna go over Blackwing Lair, the whole launch experience of Blackwing Lair, everything that we've been through, and what's our take on the whole thing. So, first of all, what's your take on how BWL felt so far as a tier compared to Molten Core, the previous tier? Like, Ebon, how do you feel about it?
So it's an interesting topic because I feel like Blackwing Lair is a fine raid, and this isn't like a knock at Blackwing Lair itself. I just feel a bit bored in the sense that this is like the fourth time in a row in like the last 4 or 5 years that I've gone from MC to Blackwing Lair to whatever. So Blackwing Lair itself is fun. It's fine. It's a cool raid. Just I'm not feeling that discovery, if that makes sense.
I would say there is a lot less content this phase. Tello, how do you
definitely.
feel?
I agree. I mean, I think that's something, I was talking with Evan with too, is that I really feel like Blackwing Lair's like, it's cool and all. Like, I think it's a great time. Like, everybody's, obviously having fun with Phase 5 as much as we can have fun with it. But at the same time, I feel like I'm not really discovering anything new, hence the name of the game. And I feel like I'm just replaying a lot of like Season of Mastery style things. And it doesn't seem like there's anything super innovative. At the same time, maybe they're just cooking these ideas for the future, which I totally respect. But as of right now, I feel like at the current moment, it's just raid log, enjoy BWL as much as I can, do PvP when I can, and then prep for the next phase after this, Phase 6, pretty much.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been feeling too, in the sense that the BWL, honestly, to give you my take on it, I think BWL as a raid on a vacuum is a lot better than Molten Core. I think almost every aspect of the Molten Core experience has been improved. Like, the affixes are way better than the hit system, in my opinion. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And like, the fights are pretty fun, but we got no world bosses. We only got one world boss. We only got like no more dungeons. It definitely feels a lot emptier. How you feeling, Jerome?
Well, I mean, it's been fun every single week. We wipe on Ebonhardt and Flamegore and lose all our world buffs. And that's happened like 3 times now. It's awesome. It's really fun. The morale's never been higher. And yeah, so it's been pretty great. really having a good time there with that. It's fun, yeah, good times.
Do you enjoy when they blame the healers and they look straight at you?
That's my favorite part. Yeah, I really like when they blame me and look straight at me. It's really awesome.
True
So,
and deserved.
like you guys are doing that strategy where you take Ebonrock and Flamegore at the same time and you're just clipping them down, right?
Yeah, and we never do that part though. We don't cleave them down, and then they kill us. So it's awesome.
Yeah, so I seen Simon Ice doing with that. I thought it was like really impressive. Like they basically just kill the two bosses at the same time, and you know how it works that you get a ramping dot on you and you eventually die. So they are doing like 4,000 or 5,000 damage each, or they die. Basically, they gotta kill them before the first rotation. It's freaking
You
insane.
have to do 50,000 DPS the whole time. And if you get basically it's 4 horsemen, so if you get to a certain number of the stacks of the mechanic, you just instantly die. And it's really great to watch him do it, and he one-shots the boss every time, and then we try the same thing and just die instead. It's really good for morale.
Guild difference, as they like to call it.
Yeah. Skill diff in some other countries.
Yeah,
Yes, of
and I
course.
bet you're doing it with
Yeah.
20 people because you guys want to get the good parses and you can't with 25 men. But like that's a
Yep,
25-man
and
strategy right there that you're
Exactly
messing
the
with.
problem, yep.
I don't even give a shit about passing no more. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what happened, but this phase, I just don't give a flying fuck. And I'm doing fine. I don't care no more.
Nobody checks for them
Yeah.
anymore, I feel.
Yeah, I heavily agree on this right now. Like, if I just saw yesterday, I think because I've been doing the affixes, but I also been doing but I've been doing normal runs, but we haven't logged our affix runs. I don't know what the hell's going on, but on our normal runs, I saw that I did like a 97 parse on Chromagus, and I'm like 14th in the world right now on normal, and I don't care really, but like I looked at it, and for the first time in a long time, I was like, yeah, I don't really care about whether we parse or not anymore. Like, let's just clear BWL and get over with this and look forward to next week. Like, I just want to get my gear and get out of there. Like, I'm not trying to like sound like a douche, but I'm just being real about it. Like, I just want to get my gear and get out. Like, that's it.
No, for sure. I tell you, like, I've been doing the 25-man thing of like getting extra people that you're not supposed to do in Blackwing Lair to make it easier. I've been having a much more fun experience doing that with goofballs than I've been having with people that try. Like, legit, like, I've been getting like old private server vibes doing that. Like, back in the old days of vanilla private servers, we all sucked. We all had no idea what we were freaking doing. And it took 4 hours to clear Morten Core. And I kind of miss that in a way. And like, I've been having a lot more fun doing it with my chat than I've been having in a while. I guess that's one of the big
That's good.
victories, in my opinion, from Blackwing Lair, that you can go easy mode and you don't feel bad for it.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, at the end of the day, you're clearing the content. You know, whether you're doing normal or whether you're doing the affix mode, like you're only adding like a challenge and a cosmetic, but like there's really nothing like else super serious about it. It's still BWL at the end of the day. Everybody's getting the same gear. You know, like
Oh, we're doing the
that's it.
affixes. It's just we're taking 5 extra people and they are so much easier. You know?
No, I believe it. I believe it.
I mean, if you just don't do black, it's like essentially regular Blackwing Lair. So you can go with 20 people, not do black if it's not Black Week. The only loot difference is you don't get the Shadow Flame weapons, the blue
Yeah.
weapon effect. And like, honestly, brother, I don't want to do black no more.
Oh, guys,
I've cleared it
today is
every
the
week.
Black Week.
I don't want to do it no more. We already cleared this week. Man, fuck that shit. Flame Rock is so
Oh.
cancer on fucking Chromagus and the two combined Drake. They're just so ass on black difficult.
It's crazy how like auto whack the affixes are. Like one affix is, oh, you get like 3 people scrunched up together and nothing happens, and the other affix is, every fight has 20 mechanics on it. Welcome to suffering, and you're gonna die. And then the other affix is like, oh, there's a green circle. You can stand in it if you want. You're not supposed to, but you can stand it if you want. It's your life, man. You do what you want. And the red one is that you die if you don't heal to 100% every time. It's so messed up, bro. The weekly affix thing. I mean, I'm happy for it because I've been saying, if they let you choose, nobody's gonna do the black one and the red one. But like at the same time, they really didn't balance them out.
Not at all.
How do you feel?
If they don't decide to continue to like balance them out like in the future, then I'm a little. I won't say concerned, but I will say like I just don't think people really care anymore about doing like some of these harder mode affixes. You know what I mean?
Would you say that the difficulty mode experiment we got in Molten Core and Blackwing Lair was a failure?
Not no, but not yes. The testing, I think, essentially showed the devs that the majority of the classic player base could not give a flying fuck. Again, I don't want to say that like factually. I don't want to speak for the whole player base. I'm just one guy.
Sounds like
but,
pretty strong language.
I apologize. I won't cuss no more. My bad. I forgot.
Christian stream here, guys.
Yeah, I don't think the player base cares. I think it genuinely comes down to, I don't think you feel rewarded for the effort you put in, because I don't think like it's hard enough to really matter, but it's not really like, as a challenge, I don't think it's a worthwhile challenge. I feel like it takes away more than it gives. But again, just my personal opinion.
How do you feel about it, Jerome? Trying to do the strat?
I really like the rotating aspect of the affixes. Like I think that's great. I think compared to Heat, this is a big upgrade. I think Heat was cool
Absolutely.
to try it out. It was cool to try it out, the horizontal progression, and like, okay, we're already level 60. What can we do with the systems? It was clearly just like a test. They weren't going to seriously do that long term. But I like the affixes. I feel like they could have even been harder. Like apparently on the PTR, the slime was like, it would just like stay on the ground a lot longer. Like imagine if some of them, like the green slime, just permanently stayed on the ground the whole fight. Like you could have seen all sorts of crazy things.
Oh god.
So I mean, I think we got off kind of with like a half measure on the mechanics.
Well,
But
I remember
definitely
the
better
bronze
than it
one
could've
was
been.
nerfed pretty hard after the PTR. Like it used to slow you for really hard, and now you cannot even notice it. We did last week. We didn't even see it. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm wondering. See, the only thing for me that I don't love is that the Black Essence affix, a lot of the stuff seems really buggy, like the stop and go mechanic on Ebonhardt and Flame Gore. There's a lot of really like kind of buggy aspects to it, but I do like the idea a lot. It is proven to work from retail, and it's definitely better than the heat mechanic.
Yeah, people are telling me that strafing doesn't work on the go mechanic now. You gotta be like moving forward. What are you supposed to do as a tank? I am terrified now. I'm supposed to tank that one on
You
Saturday.
can walk backwards.
Okay, strafing backwards
you can't.
works.
Backpedaling
Not
is not
strafing.
allowed. I got rid of the button, so no, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
thought,
that's-
right?
that's
Like
your
you gotta
problem.
pretend that you don't do
I
it on stream. Yeah, I only do it off
Yeah,
stream.
whenever I stream, I unbind the back key so no one can flame me, and then I rebind it after the stream. Because
Yeah,
the
also I
backpedal
click on
counts
all
as-
my spells when I'm not streaming.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
If people flame me, I'm just like, I have a higher pass than you. I'm a boomer. Get fucked, kid.
No, it's all about optics. If you backpedal, they just don't respect you anymore. So
I mean,
I just
that's-
don't see the
that's
world
fine.
with that.
It's fine for tanks to backpedal.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I was
even
gonna
tanks
say,
can't.
right? Like as a tank, what
Tanks
do
don't
you do?
backpedal now.
Like you move a
That's
little
interesting.
slower, but like the chance of me spinning accidentally on doing the strafing thing and just facing my back for one swing and dying is like, is it really that worth it? I'm not getting rid of my back pedal. I am never getting rid of
no,
my
it's a
back
lot.
pedal.
It's much better to turn around, have your back to the boss, and then instantly die than to ever be caught backpedaling.
Remember
True.
that
Rather wipe the raid than backpedal.
100%. Yeah, it's optics. It's like the underhanded free throw in basketball. We know it's better, but no one's gonna do it.
Remember that sunken temple we did a couple months ago where I charged into the boss and I got instantly one shot because I didn't put shield block up at the first global. Like the very first swing was a crit. That was funny.
Damn.
Yeah. What's the name of that dragon that everybody hated? Eranikos. Yeah. Oh god, that thing was
Oh, Ranicus was horrible. Yeah.
literally first swing he did to me. I got one shot. They are never letting me leave that down.
Oof.
Okay, so what do you think is the most broken class currently in PvE?
PvE. Ooh.
We're gonna go over PvP later, okay? We got a lot to talk about that too.
I could go on for PvP for half an hour, but
Oh, I know,
Yeah,
I
same.
know.
Like, I actually haven't looked at the metrics. Like I said earlier, I haven't felt like the need to check passes or care how much damage people do. So I'm
Well, not
actually not
necessarily
even
damage,
sure
but like, what do you feel is really useful right now for you? Like, what do you always go like, damn, I wish we had more of this guy?
I would say priest. I'm really liking, like, at least in PvE right now, I'm really liking priests. I really like druids and rogues. I
Yeah,
really
that's a
like those
powerful
three.
three.
I like
Rogues
those
are
three
kicking
classes a lot.
butt.
My one druid friend, he was doing like way over 3,000 damage yesterday on like majority of the bosses. Like he was
That's
pumping. And then
insane.
my one rogue friend, who's actually my GM, he did 11,000 damage or close to 15,000 damage on Velstraz. Like it was
That's
insane.
hilarious.
Like he was going crazy. Like it was like obviously we'll you know Velstraz like
The burning
wraps all the
adrenaline,
damage
yeah.
up. But like it was insane. I was like, holy shit, dude. And that was without world buffs. That was like no world buffs. So like I can only imagine if everybody unbooned and we truly wanted to just like juice that boss out and
Is
kill
that
it
on
within
black
seconds.
or regular?
No, just regular. It was just regular. It was just regular. But I would like to see it on black though. Like to see what happens. But like overall though, it was still pretty impressive, and I think those are the three classes that I feel like are the highlights for me right now in BWL at least.
I really do feel that Belstras is the boss that you really want to unboon for. Like, that is like the one boss that you can really brute force with damage. Well, that and Ebonrock, I guess. But like, Belstras is so much easier with wall boss. I was so stubborn
No,
about it.
true. As long as you have the tank not like mess up and then turn the boss, and then we get swiped and then cleaved, and then like that's the problem right now. It's like trusting tanks, because like you really put your life into the tank, and if your tank decides to do something stupid and not correctly face it the right way, it wipes everybody, it wipes all the world buffs, and then everybody's I guess demeanor or like their attitude's all down now because all their buffs are gone. You know what I mean?
Sorry
That's
about
why it's
that.
so great to have. It's so great to have Medina as your tank, because you always know everything's going to go perfectly. Your buffs are nice and safe with him. It's great.
Oh snap!
Oh,
No,
yeah,
that
yeah.
wasn't. I was being serious. I really. I would always be unbooned if Medina was my tank.
Yeah, you
Medina,
like,
the buff savior.
you know, like, Belstras sometimes likes to like spin around and look at people when I am tanking him. I don't know what's up with that, but like he kind of looks around and like sometimes he just
Yeah,
looks and he sees a priest right there and he was like, "What? Haktua!" And that priest is dead.
It's crazy. Scientists are
Yeah.
baffled on why whenever Medina's tanking, Veilstraz is like spinning around like a merry-go-round. Can never quite figure out what's going on with that.
They
He's
are trying
breathing
to
on the
figure out a
melee.
way to tie him to an axle and generate electricity with it. Yeah.
It's the perpetual motion machine. It's infinite money.
I would also say too, the other two classes I noticed that are highlight classes for me in BWL. Because I won't say who's like the most broken right now in BWL, because I feel like a lot of classes are performing better, and it's hard to say who's broken right now because at the end of the day, like the logs are coming out each week with more people getting their tier 2 sets and actually
Yeah.
mixing and matching their core forge with their draconics. So like we're gonna actually see different results in the next couple of weeks as we go if you actually like monitor the logs from week 1 going till now. But I would say like warriors, like the whole shockwave thing, especially on the ads that throw like the engineer bombs, those bombing ads, like those
So
ads are the
useful.
worst ads in my opinion. I think warriors are amazing for that, and also the other class I forget to mention was hunters. I think hunters add so much efficiency to that raid, where it's like it's nice to bring more than one hunter. It's beautiful like having them for ad control, and then also with during the last few fights within BWL, especially with the last boss fights going on. It's pretty nice, honestly. I think a lot of classes are bringing a lot of useful stuff, but those are the classes I think, in my opinion, are like the highlight MVPs at the current moment.
Yeah, like hunters are like so in demand and so hard to find lately. I never thought in my life that I was gonna say that we need more hunters in the game, but it took me like a legit 30 minutes to get 2 hunters for my raid. I feel the raid and I couldn't get 2 hunters to the trunk, because you need 2 hunters for Ebonrock and Flame Gore, everything gets messy. They get
Yeah.
snatched right away now. Like everybody needs hunters. It's crazy. They also
Yeah,
do really good damage.
we use our hunter in our runs to pull everything. He pulls everything, then the tanks will take control of everything because the hunter has just so much range, So he'll just pull it, the tanks will take over it, and then we just cleave it all down. So the hunter really just actually leads our run more than anything. Is the hunter.
Yeah, it's great. It still kind of sucks for warriors to pull. We don't get a lot of range. The mid hook, I totally understand why the mid hook doesn't have range, right? Like if it had as much range as a hunter, God help your soul if you're a Clothy on
Broken.
PvP. God help your
Yeah, it'd be
soul.
broken.
But we really
Yeah.
need something to pull, man. That's really annoying to deal with. So you either got a hunter or you are like risking your life in the line every day trying to get the trash in. That's
Yeah, no,
especially
for sure.
Molten Core. Molten Core, I think, is a lot worse in that sense. Like, I feel that Blackwing Lair is a lot easier to AoE everything down. But like Molten Core, even on tier 2 gear, you can still get destroyed by the trash. It's really scary.
No, for sure, for sure.
I'm gonna say that watching Medina look for hunters for Trank for like 45 minutes the other day did make me level my hunter, and I'm level 56. And let me say the boosts are way too much money, and these boosters are not negotiating, right? They're just like, because they're selling the gold, so they're really they can't give you a discount, and it's really frustrating. I'm running out of money.
So if we collaborate with you, are you gonna give the money to the hunters, which are gonna give the money to the Chinese gold people, and then your people
Yes.
are gonna buy it from them, and this is gonna go back into the economy? So technically,
Yeah.
giving money to you is like giving money to yourself.
Yes.
We should
Just
give
take a
money to this
sponsorship from
man.
the gold sellers. They're offering
Yeah.
me
Yeah, I know.
sponsorships all the fucking time. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's great.
That's-
I watched a video the other day and got it was in the middle of it was the gold sponsorship ad.
Wait, really? From who?
No, don't worry about it.
I got offered like it was like $150 per video and gold in game.
Wow.
And I'm
That's
just sitting there
That's
like,
a low
You know what?
number
I'll
I
for
have
take the
one of
morals.
those.
I have
Wait a minute.
morals. I can't do
At
this.
TOS
I've been
to
offered
get
more,
gold,
and
though.
I'm nobody. Like in the private server days, they would give you a lot of money to do really, really awful stuff. If you were willing to take it. I cannot remember, like, this is not quite related, but I had a good friend of mine. He went insane and he moved somewhere else and he quit WoW. But he was like a very successful Rato the Lich King streamer. There was this server, the biggest server for Rato the Lich King. They sold, what's the name of that sword from Arthas? The called
A legendary Shadowmon.
Shadowmorn. Yeah, they were selling Shadowmorn in the cash shop for like 200 euros or something like insane like that. And like his first YouTube paycheck when he blew up, he spent it all on that sword, bro.
Wow. It's crazy.
Are you
We
talking about
couldn't believe
the
it.
Nev,
He
by
showed
the way,
it.
I feel like you are. Okay, so I totally derailed us. I was gonna say,
No.
like, I'm just kind of. I do think hunters are probably the best class to bring. You want classes, especially if you're doing like BWL pugs. You want to bring like the warlocks. The hunters are amazing. I'm looking at like the low percentile. Like, what is like the baseline of a class? And it is the boomkins. Like the boomkins is they're good if you're a new player, and they're good if you're experienced. So that's and they have the battle res to innervate everything. What I'm
Agreed.
really
I will
shocked
say that-
about, this is HelloJtello's problem. Like, it doesn't look like the Rets are nearly as good as we thought. I don't know what went wrong, but the Rets are like, I mean, my
They're
reputation is
simmed with
impacted.
gear, aren't they? You don't have the gear, so they can't really sim it unless you're.
Oh, you're
lucky
talking
enough
about
to win
the
all your
PTR
items.
numbers? Because, like, I remember
Yeah,
that.
I mean, my reputation. I said Rets were going to be sick, and I thought they would be, and they look terrible.
Yeah, so this is what I said, and this is what I was kind of like not arguing with the Paladin Discord for, but like we were having like constructive discussion about it because like everybody was really like,
In a class Discord?
yeah, I know, in a class Discord, a rarity now.
Show me the screenshot. I don't believe you.
and I have a lot of good friends in there. Though I'm pretty everything's pretty chill in there. But the thing is that a lot of them were saying, and I even have my friends who they raid on the Horde end too, that they were saying paladins are about to be broken. They're about to be fucking absolutely insane, and they're gonna be the number one DPS, and they're gonna be this and that, and everything's catered to them this phase. And then I look at the log numbers week 1, and I look at week 2, and I'm like, well, let's see what's actually going on right now, regardless of these sims. And I think I have a personal problem with sims. I don't like the way sims justify how actual in-game performance plays out. I don't think that it's very bad, in my opinion. I think sims give a good identification of like, okay, theoretically you could hit this in the perfect environment, in the perfect like setup with the right consumes, nothing happening gameplay wise, and everybody's on point at a perfect timing of everything, of like, you know, the pull and how it works out, and the tanks do everything correctly, the heals are good, and everyone's DPS is matching others, and you got the right buffs and world buffs and consumes. But if you don't have any of that, you're not matching the Sims. And right now, like what we were saying a little bit earlier, I would like to see the logs in the next couple of weeks where more people get their gear so we can see what actually happens. Because right now, yeah, like Ret Paladin's kind of like in the 3,000 range, which is okay, which is not bad, but we're not in the 5,200 range, which people are claiming.
Is it possible that Rets are just significantly worse at their rotation than other classes? And that is the reason why the Sims say they're very good, and then the reality is that they're bad.
No, no, I heavily agree, because the thing with like Paladin is, and every class has their special way how they want to play. Let's get that straight. So like every class has a way where they feel like if they play this way, they'll beat the number they did last week. Or if they get that little upgrade, it might change a small little parse number of DPS. But with Ret Paladins right now, our big thing is, do people want to do exo spamming? Do people actually want to be using tier 1 molten core set where it's 2 seals at once? You don't need a seal twist. You only just need to press the button when your weapon swings at the end. So playing Paladin right now, it's a skill gap in PvE, because you have to understand whether you want to be a manual twister or an automatic twister. It's almost like, do you want to drive a manual truck IRL, or do you want to drive an automatic? What's easier? What would you prefer, and what would you feel more comfortable with? But like, you know, it's complete. Yeah, an Uber, 100%. You know, but it's like, honestly, at the end of the day, I really feel like it's very performance based, and you can mess up a lot on your rotation. And some paladins just don't realize how to, you know, excel at it. And the same thing happens with warriors, happens with it happens with a lot of classes.
Yeah, I think it's
and
like
feel
the opposite with warriors, right? Like people always doom on them that they are gonna suck, and like warriors are like, I think you're gonna agree with me on this, that warriors got like the most insane freaking like mental players in the planet. So like no matter what happens with the warrior, even if the warrior sucks, like some guy out there is gonna figure out something to do with it. You know, like the average.
No, for sure. Yeah,
It's like the
everyone excels.
Class. It just attracts
No, yeah, I mean,
people.
Look at like top warriors. There's top warrior players, top rogues, and everyone wants to be that top player. But the problem is, in order to be that top player, it requires your rotation being perfect. You knowing your rotation before you even go into it, practicing your rotation in the open world, figuring out what buttons I need to be using, what macros I should be considering, what people I should be looking into, and what gear I should be chasing. And then also, on top of all that homework being done, what comp should I be in? What should the comp look like in the BWL in order to really min-max? So if you're that type of person who wants to min-max, there's a lot of studying and like actual breaking down that goes into it before you even enter Raid Week. And I think some people are just a little bummed out right now because they're not reaching the results they're getting, especially, obviously, you know, Paladins. I know, like, we're talking about that, but we'll see what happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think we'll see some better results in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Give it some time.
Yeah, like I only got one piece of tier 2 yet, and I did 2 raids. And I feel I'm pretty lucky.
I got 3 right now.
Yeah.
Has anyone here gotten loot? I'm 3 Blackwing Lairs. I've gotten 4 pieces of off-spec that nobody wanted. And I've gotten 0 actual upgrade out of Blackwing Lair.
Well, the problem is I still didn't get a binding, so I reserve the weapon every time. So I am like a soft reserve behind everybody all the time, and that kind of bums me out. But I got the shoulders, though. I was using the incursion shoulders, bro.
I've been getting all the loot, man. Priest, you know, you just get they just give you stuff because they feel bad for you because they don't want you to leave and play New World.
That's so frustrating to hear. Man, I've lost 32 rolls. 32
rolls. Even have
32 rolls?
They just give me everything.
Something stupid like that. I have
no
to check
shot.
my add-on again.
Dude,
I 32 straight rolls. That we should make this into like a documentary or something. You should really be like advertising that.
Well, no, technically it's not 32 failed rolls. It's like every roll I want for an item, I fail. Off-spec item. Like, you know the stupid ass druid trinket that gives you like power shifting for free for 20 seconds?
Yeah.
I rolled like a 98 on that.
You know, like them Championship, the championship of the ice. You know, they're like the world championship of it. You gotta go there.
Yeah. Every time it's an off-spec item that nobody wants, because we have that gargle thing, so you have to roll.
Yeah.
Right, you have to do your roll to go through the system. I'll roll, and it's always like taut dragon hide shoulders, right? We don't have a feral in our raid, so like nobody wanted it. So it was free. I rolled off spec 97 or 96. Then Neltharian's tier, I roll a 40.
Damn. Nah, that's just shit luck, bro.
Do you not
It
do
really
soft
is.
It's
reserve
whatever.
in
Yeah.
your raids?
Well, we
do
can't
We do
blame
soft
Gargle.
reserve, yeah. We do, yeah.
No, there's not allowed to blame Gargle because Gargle's the only thing Medina has in his life. It's his joy. It's the reason he plays. It's not Gargle's fault.
Bro, I
And it's a
freaking
war
hate
style
handing
as
out
well.
loot. If you think handing out loot is bad, try to do it while you're tanking and talking to try to raid lead while you're raiding chat. Is one of them gotta give, and it's usually the tanking.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I've been gifted. I feel like this is the most laziest I've been this phase, and I've been playing this shit so chill. I've already got 3-piece 2-tier. I got Ashkandi. I got Untamed Blade. I got Wrath of Ray from Prince Dunderin the other day.
You
Actually,
got it
yesterday
super
we were
early
talking
too,
about.
Ash Candy too, right?
I got Ashkandi week 1.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna fucking tweak out. I've lost the Lockermere. I've lost the fucking Druid Staff. I've lost the dagger twice off Thunderan. I'm gonna tweak the fuck out. Like, don't get me. Like, I'm
The
gonna
luck
fucking
is
lose my
it's
mind.
so funny how RNG works for everybody. It's crazy. One phase will have a better phase than the other. It's just the way it works. It's so
No,
weird.
every phase. For years, I've had dog shit luck. If I'm not master looting myself, shit, I'll lose every fucking roll. I don't fucking understand it.
Sad, bro.
On my alt's got insane RNG. My main, fucking nothing.
Yeah, that's what happened to me on, I remember tier 1 where like everybody wanted leather because people couldn't wear mail. You remember how awful the loot table was for BFD? Like, I didn't have a single tier piece after like 3 weeks of raiding, and I go into like a single raid with my warrior and I come out with 3 piece. It was insane.
That's
The
real.
old rock luck is a real thing. It is for real, dude.
I feel you.
I don't know, man. At least I got the Spyro Shield. You know, like, I saw it drop once, and it was in the raid with 2 warrior tanks on it, because it was so scuffed the first week. Somehow I got it.
Medina's
You've never seen it
so
again.
excited about his shield that he made a whole song and everything for it. Should be the intro to the podcast.
I'm trying to clean it
Wow,
up, but they want me to pay for it, bro. I'm not paying for it. I don't pay for anything.
No
I'm a Latin
way.
American. I take things.
Yeah, we don't pay for things in this podcast.
We don't believe in intellectual
Especially not
property in
booze.
this country.
We don't pay for boosts either. So if you want to boost me for free on Crusader Strike, just hit me up. Nohitjerome X is my name.
Freeboost.com.
Yeah, please. I need them.
Aren't you literally the economy guy? Don't you have
Yeah,
like
but-
75 videos
Yeah,
about
but boosts
playing
are like
auction house?
8,000 gold to level. It's too much money. Okay, I need to boost a boomkin, a warrior, a hunter, a warrior. I need to boost a mage. I'm doing a lot of boosting. See,
Which one are
he's
you
already
taking to my
game.
raid?
Why
play
don't
the
you just
game.
level on stream.
Get this man out of here. No, there's no time. There's no time for that. I need to
Honestly,
play the
apologize.
game
Jerome,
AFK.
I'm not gonna lie, Jerome. I miss my gnome.
He kicked it.
Whatever
Oh,
happened
you're
to that?
down. Don't worry about it.
See, no wonder why this is all going to hell. This is a problem. We're all packed. Ever since gnomes died, we've been packed, and that's a fact. I stand on that. I'm sorry. We were
You know what?
ranked.
Ebonhardt's right. Why don't I just play the game? Yeah, that sounds fun.
True.
Yeah.
True. Play the
That's-
game.
that sounds so fun. And just the eye roll.
Just
That's awful.
play the game, dude. That's the funnest part.
Imagine
Honey, it's
being a
time for
viewer
your
and
5
you're
p.m.
watching.
flattening session. Yes, babe.
Imagine being a viewer and you're just watching the last classic creators and you just see them like, why don't you play the game? Like, sure, yeah, okay.
a deep
Okay.
deep ref of
If you want to watch leveling content, Ebonhardt's got you covered.
No, the fuck I don't.
True.
I've been streaming for 2 weeks straight and I've got 1 hour gameplay.
He's got you covered.
Was it a good
He's got you
hour?
covered
He's
in
not
hard.
playing either.
It's gonna be even better in hardcore leveling content. Woo! It's gonna be even.
Oh,
the
bro, I
best.
already dread it. Because I know I'm gonna have to go there. You know, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna give it a shot for like a week before I inevitably get frustrated and quit. But I already fear hardcore, bro. I really hate leveling so
Don't
much.
stress it. Take some edibles and then roleplay with me. I'm forcing Jerome to roleplay in character the entire fucking time. We're leveling hardcore together.
What if I
I am
roleplay
literally
as
going to be-
myself? Can you do that?
No, you gotta actually be a
Oh.
character.
Oh, how? I am me.
Like, just do a voice.
Come, we must adventure. There are 12
I
balls
got
we must
boys.
kill
People
over
hate it.
yonder.
All right, everyone here has to do a WoW voice right now. Those webs can summon Nerubians. Don't stand in them. Okay, see, mine's good.
Okay.
Yours,
All right.
Ebonhardt's got a good one. What about you, HelloJtello?
Do the voice.
Light be hold on, let me try it. Light be with you. There we go. There it is, boys.
Oh my god,
He sounds like the default
incredible.
fucking paladin
There
from
it is.
Warcraft 3.
There it is.
Yeah,
There
I
it
feel
is.
that if I click you, I'm gonna hear that again.
Brother,
Don't tell his model, he's gonna repeat the
you
voice.
just click it. Just happens every time. Light be with you.
All right.
It just happens every time, brother. Every time. It was meant to be.
The three of us have done it. You have to do a voice now.
Okay, in the risk of getting kicked. Ma, you're a tall. Oh my god, I
Oh.
gotta stop drinking this thing. Ma, you're a tall one. I cannot do it. I cannot do it.
Oh, he's like a
gnome.
He's like
My
a
voice
gnome
one.
from
Yeah.
Judd Moreau.
I am a gnome that's been through some really hard kicks in his life. Mostly.
He's a Judd
my
Moreau
God.
gnome.
The voice
That's
crack.
crazy. Voice crack, yeah. It's the
Honestly,
voice
no,
crack
no.
for me, dude.
You should play orc with my big orc, and you can be my autistic son, and we'll go on an adventure together.
I'm a Tauren.
shit.
I cannot play something else, brother.
Yeah,
You don't I guess-
he could be
wait,
your Tauren.
I only played Tauren for
Nah,
like
dude, I want to be
5
orc.
years.
I need to be Garrosh. I need to be
Garros
racist.
was super nice to
Your feet on the
Tauren.
ground.
He made a neighborhood for us, and he kicked out all the goblins and put them in a little slum so he could make space for us. Garros is the best leader we've ever had. I love Garros.
Wow. So
He-
a Tauren with a gnomer voice is good. That's the angle for you.
That's
Oh,
a good
God.
angle. bro.
Wait,
Just-
you know that Make-A-Wish thing, the story from Thunderbluff is? I didn't know about it. Like, there's like a random Tauren in like Mulgore that is voiced by a child. And it was like a Make-A-Wish thing where like the child was dying and he was like, I want to voice a character in World of Warcraft. And they let him do it. That was pretty cool. I can be that guy.
That was pretty dope. Hey,
Is it Kyle? I feel like it's Kyle.
I don't know.
Like the
name
dog
of-
and
It is. I'm
isn't it
pretty
like
sure
a
it's Kyle.
It's like a dog quest. And I always would make fun of it, and then someone told me the backstory, and I felt like the biggest jerk of all time. And now I treat it with incredible reverence, of course.
well, I mean, yeah. If you don't know, you didn't have context of the situation at the time.
I mean,
so
I
that's
just the
understandable.
quest was a little simple, right? I didn't really. It's just like you're running around finding a dog.
Well,
Sure,
wasn't Kyle
sure.
the one that you poisoned in Hillsbrad?
Oh my god! The
I
follow up
think
quest.
that's Kyle.
Wait, so we pack him up?
Oh my god.
So
Wait,
He's
so
packing
we
us
have a
up.
child with cancer in
No.
game? Huh?
So we're packing
what
us up? That's crazy.
I think that's different. That's a different.
Damn,
quest.
Jerome. So you gunned him and then he gets packed in game.
I didn't say that.
You're an awful
Oh,
person, man.
shit, dude.
We're out here about to pull up on the kids' hospital.
Damn. Top 10 ways on how to bring him back. This is
I
crazy.
just don't like
In-game.
leveling. Okay, that's all
In-game.
I'm trying to say. I just don't like leveling.
What you mean
Not
you're
true.
supposed to poison that dog? I've been saving it every time, Jerome.
True. Yeah, we're getting canceled. We're getting canceled.
Oh,
Chat, I'm a Republican now.
the
all
gnomes
over
are
now.
behind the storm.
It's the gnomes. The gnomes are ruining this. They're ruining it all. It's all them.
I tell you, they control everything.
Mm.
They made me short.
So are we going to talk about broken PvP classes? Because
Oh, yeah,
Arcadian's
yeah.
here, and I have a lot to say.
Do you before that? Okay, like just to give everybody a little backstory on the PvP situation. Like I'm sure you guys are up to date on the whole fiasco where they made it so if you lost, you would get 2 badges after losing, and then they basically had to change it back. Did you guys? I know Tello your alliance. Did any of you guys take advantage of that situation?
Wait, take advantage of what? What are you
Uh,
talking about?
Okay, yeah, so basically they made it so if you lose, it used to be that you only got 1 badge, but they changed it for 2 for like a week. Like if for losing, you got 2 badges. And what everybody was
Oh,
doing
yeah.
was people were losing on purpose because it was legitimately faster and easier and better to just lose on purpose to get honor than to try. And like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think everybody took advantage of it. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, people wanted to get their rep, you know, and I'm not going to blame, you know, the player base for, you know, taking advantage of a mistake that Blizzard should have never implemented in the first place without realizing that the players will obviously be toxic about it. And don't get me wrong, I hated the fact that, you know, I think I told you guys this already. I hated the fact that the Alliance decided to just sit there and literally just let people piss on them for no reason. But obviously there was a reason, but it just, I mean, come on, man, have a little bit of integrity.
I think it was like a tiny
Like,
act of rebellion against shamans. Honestly,
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, just have some type of integrity, bro. Like, you know, like I'm so happy that Blizzard got involved and, like, you know, Agron and all them were basically saying, hey, listen, if you're whispering people to quit and not capture a flag, like, you're gonna get a risk of a ban. Like literally stop these people from trying to ruin people from having fun. I think that's a problem too much nowadays, and like especially with SoD, is other people are trying to ruin other people's good time of having having fun. Especially like in PvP, like if you if you're queuing up willingly, you're queuing up because you want to get involved. And you obviously you have a goal in mind, but you want to play the game. And some people, they just want to take the easy route out and just get the loot, and that's it. Like, I don't know, man. It annoyed me for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the people that really lost for like this whole time. Is like the people that actually cared about PvP, because like granted, like I think most of the PvP people are people that just want to get their PvE gear from PvP and then never do it again. But like if you actually care about PvP, that's gotta be like the worst week ever. You're not allowed to play for a week. Basically, like even if you're a horde, you still don't get to play.
It was horrible. Like it was me, Steven, Bonez, and a couple other my friends. We had like a whole like a pre-made Discord, and we just went in there and I followed Steven's like meta. We were calling it like the Skibbity meta, and we were basically we would let people cap, but then we would turn it all on them and then start beating up the horde like bad. And then we noticed if we did that, the horde would actually give up instead of the alliance. But then if one person wasn't in our pre-made, they would be spamming on the keyboard. Why are you guys capping? Let them cap. We should lose already. Within 30 seconds of the game. It's like, how much of a loser do you have to be, bro? Let's get rid of this quitter mentality and stop making you act like a bitch, and let's play the game, bro. Like, simple as that. Play the fucking game. Like, I'm sorry for cursing, but just play the game and stop acting like a crybaby, dude. And like, whether you win or lose, it is what it is. It's classic WoW, bro. We're not in fucking rated BGs and retail. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
So, do you agree with the new changes?
I think the new changes are better. Are they better? Because I haven't really played BGs, to be honest.
I've actually figured out the problem with the new changes already, and it's kind of weird problem. So what you have is, let's say you're playing and you're up 3-2. The other team will do everything they can to just hold 2 points, and so the games it doesn't feel like you're losing, but the games are like really boring because it's like the other team is doing as much as they can to get their points. Because basically you get, what is it, like every 600 points you get like another mark, even if you lose, something like that. And so you're incentivized to lose as slowly as you can. And so these teams will just hold 2 points and put all their team on those 2 points. And then you're just like, you can't do anything. So it becomes kind of boring because no one's even trying to win the game. But I mean, it seems like the one flaw so far.
Sounds interesting. The player bases, it's all meta and efficiency and like I genuinely think it's a player base problem. I don't think there is a good solution. I think as we are right now, the classic player base, the people I play with and I see in game just doing things, if there is not an exploit or a way to be the most efficient and the fastest, somebody's going to find it and that will become meta. So we went from essentially AFK out, and then the Alliance realized that if we don't have to AFK, we can flip it on the Horde AFK. Either way, somebody's AFKing because there's no point fighting. Now this new meta, we don't want the game to end. We want it to be 2,000 to 1,800, so we all get 4 tokens or 3 tokens. And like,
yeah, and so both teams are kind of AFK, but they're like, it's 3-2. So everyone really is AFK, but it looks like they're not AFK.
So
like the points look good.
So let me get this straight. So just from how I'm hearing this, because I haven't played BGs in the past couple of days. I've been busy with other stuff. So what I'm hearing is basically what's going on now is it's no longer the quote unquote loser meta, But then before they made the changes, people were actually playing the game for a little bit. And now with the changes, it's this new meta of instead of loser meta, it's like mediocre loser meta where it's like we don't care if we win it, we don't care if we lose it, but we don't want to put effort into it.
Yeah,
that's how
so
it
they'll
feels.
literally
But
sit
maybe
there.
I didn't sleep a lot
fair.
yesterday, and so I was really complaining a lot. So maybe it is really fun, but I just had a bad experience.
Is that why
Some
you
of the
were
game
losing your
died.
mind of BGs last night? Because
Yeah, I
I
was
tuned
screaming
later.
and having.
He keeps DMing me like, "Yo, Eben, come grind 500,000 honor with me." I'm like, "No, leave me alone."
Jerome, it's 5 a.m. Never talk to me or my son again.
Well, I
but
did
no.
that thing where I was winning every game. It was really fun, and then I lost a game, and I got really mad. So that's kind of how, like, you feel like you're invincible, right, until you lose.
I just
I
have
mean-
friends on fucking. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I wonder if they would ever just like limit how many classes can join BGs. Put a limit on how many classes can join BGs per
I
class.
think most of the
Zero
player
shamans
base
per
is
VG, I
warrior
think that's the
shaman.
best.
So yeah, it's. I
what I
like
mean?
your idea, but then
If
the player
if
base
there
would
was
have to
more
not
players.
stack one. Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it should be
No, for
at
sure, I
least.
agree with you.
I think the shaman cap should be like 15, and then maybe like 1 or 2 warriors and stuff,
There it is. There it is.
and one red.
Honestly, you
per
should
team.
need to pre-mate
red.
to get in. No random queuing. You need to be in a 15-man to queue in.
Legitimately,
And
That
when
I
way,
think
there's
that
no
would
AFK
help.
meta.
I
And
think
with that
would
one
help.
rep paladin, they purge him so hard he goes back to level 1. I think that's how
Oh
you
god,
play.
I wish you could purge someone's level. You know what? Honestly, I'd pay money.
That's in
Okay.
EverQuest.
Purge someone's
That's a
level.
thing in
They start,
EverQuest.
they start purging your experience. It slowly goes backwards instead of forward. It's the new
Yeah, I think
map.
that fixes BGs. Every
I
time you
think so
lose, you
too,
lose
bro.
XP.
I think so. I love seals, and then I love when they get purged in one purge. It's the best. It's the best.
I would actually pay money. I would pay like a double. I would pay like $60 a month to be able to go into the open world and like literally purge someone's level off. You just ding 6059 again, motherfucker, and just like, oh, you're trying to get into Blackwing Lair? You're 59. Now you can't make it to raid because it's level 60 only.
As
Think of the
Paul goes
clip as-
live and goes outside and like he's about to go to Molten Core, next thing he knows he's level
Yeah.
1.
Asmongold has a big party for his leveling, and then he's like level 10.
Guys, what the hell? I gotta go do Hogan again.
That'd be funny. That'd be
Oh
actually funny.
god.
That wouldn't
It's like
happen, but
infinite
dude,
content. It's like a circle.
True.
nah, honestly, I would just grief my friends more than strangers. I would just like find Tello about to go to raid and be like, "I'm sorry, little kid."
Oh god, dude.
Guys, I'm
Right
not
when
gonna be
Medina
hit
pulls
cap
bail.
tonight.
Oh god.
Uh,
I gotta start doing more BGs though. I really did. This week I gotta really spend some more time with it just so I can experience the system myself to see how bad people are in this like kind of mediocre quitter.
Well, I
guess
think it's
meta,
probably in the
so-
best. To be fair, it's in the best place it's been the whole time. So they've gotten it. So I don't want to be too negative. It is better than it's ever been
Yeah.
since SoD. So, but I did notice like a small flaw that maybe I was just in like a super whiny mood yesterday.
No, true. I mean, I gotta when I experience myself. I'll definitely talk to you guys a little bit more about it. Maybe I'll in DMs for sure. But I think for now, yeah. As far as like when I was doing BGs and how it felt, I will say like I felt good in there. I definitely did feel good in there. Class
The
wise,
gameplay feels great.
the gameplay feels nice. I wasn't noticing any like server lag or stability issues. Everything felt like it was connecting, and I think a lot of people are class wise. Maybe some classes are obviously better than others, of course. In PvP, things change, right? But I do think overall, it feels definitely damn good for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel blessed that I don't have to care about it because I'm a tank. Like, is like the PvP gear really important for you guys, like the rank 14 weapons and stuff? I didn't see
well,
the
the rank
update.
13
Because-
gear is incredible. Isn't the rank 13 gear some of the best? I mean, maybe not in SoD. Is the high warlord gear not good? I thought rank 13
It's
gear was.
kind of a
for
big
DPS,
complaint.
definitely.
Inside, it's a big complaint though. It isn't drastically better than it. And, like you'd think it would be like way better, but it's not. It's not necessarily like far enough ahead of other gear.
No,
And you
Jerome's
just
right.
get a lot of stamina, basically.
Yeah, like the problem right now with the rank 13 gear, at least from my point of view, is that they gave us that Libram of Plenty, which gives us 10% more mana with a Crusader Strike that does 5% mana gain already, so that's 15% mana gain. And they thought that it was smart that they gave the Paladin armor Intellect. So they're like, oh, we're going to solve the Paladin issues where we're going to give them Intellect. But what they did was give us way too much more mana on one ability now, where all that other gear that they gave us doesn't matter. So we use our PvE gear in PvP. It's no point. The PvP gear
Can
is
we
actually
finally talk about broken
is
classes
useless.
in PvP?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we
you've
can.
been doing a little
I'm
bit
done.
of a project the last 2 days. I've seen that. Like, can you tell us a little about that project you've been doing on PvP?
Oh no, I mean, well, I've done a few things, but the biggest thing is that I'm on a crusade to nerf Ret Paladins because they're overpowered and they're ruining my fun. And I'm on a crusade to nerf Warriors because they're overpowered and ruining my fun. And I'm on a crusade to nerf Boom. Well, actually, Boomkins are fun though. You know what? They're cool.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. Whoa, I'm
What did
sorry.
I do?
Boomkins are insane.
Literally, I'm
Boomkins are
sitting here and you're
insane.
just like, yeah, nerf him. Dude, we're not even that good.
Okay,
I've heard some
I
nasty.
don't
Hierarchy.
even like Ebonhardt.
Warriors beat Boomkins. It's like rock paper scissors, but then Boomkins beat everything else. So it's like,
Boomkins are disgusting.
Well, but it requires me to try, and I don't put that much effort in. So
I feel like Boomkins low-key are the one class that likes to stay quiet, and they see that everyone's talking about Rets, everyone's talking about Shamans, everyone's talking about these other classes, and Boomkins are in the back like, yeah, let's keep our tech on the down low. Because
they're really smart. Yeah.
let's
They
keep
keep
our
to
tech on
themselves.
the down low.
I think it's because
they
the
are
skill
smart.
difference between playing a druid and PvP correctly versus any other class is much higher. Whereas, like in a lot of other classes, if like for shaman, there's no skill in an alley shaman or enhanced shaman being like, oh, rock biter, you know, or just whatever.
Okay,
Whereas
but
a
to
druid,
be
you have
fair-
to power shift, do all that shit, jump around, dash, all that shit. So it looks
Not-
not
Not
many
as
druids
much
can pull
as
it
you
off.
used to, though. Like you're really
Yeah,
just
fair enough.
pressing like Starfall, right? That's it's just like it's
Well,
not
not
quite
just that, but yeah,
okay.
yeah, fair enough.
You gotta be a little crafty
Starfall
kiting, you know. You
smacks,
gotta
dude.
like
Starfall
you gotta
smacks.
hold down the laughter when you know like the other guy that's trying to hit you and he can't catch you, like the other guy that's still out of his mind. Like it takes a lot of skill to hold down the laughter while you do that. It's very
What
difficult
about
to
the
do that.
Exactly.
Warriors that like 3-hit me though? Like how is that fair?
Warriors are insane. Warriors are absolutely insane. I mean, the Mortal Strike is a massive diff in PvP as well. It's one
Okay,
of
so
the
let's say I play
biggest
perfectly.
things.
I'm in like the most
Ash
amazing
Candy
position
didn't
on my
help, I
priest.
bet.
yeah.
I'm positioned flawlessly on my priest. I put down the dome that reduces damage by 25%. The warrior just pulls me out of it and he just kills me.
Oh
Feels
yeah,
like
you
I'm
just get
playing Wrath or
fucking meat
something.
hooked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
me
is
hooked
that?
in.
Who put that in the game?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
Zyrene? Who did this?
I'm not too sure. I don't know why they decided to give Warriors meat hooks, but I mean, I'll say this: Warriors have had issues for a long time in PvP and Season of Discovery where they weren't really noticeable, and this is like one of the phases before one of a couple phases ago where the meta kind of shifted towards Warriors, where they felt really good. I heard a lot of Warriors in my comments saying, "Yeah, we feel better in PvP," but right now, prop Warriors and just arms Warriors in PvP, they feel relevant, like they feel impactful to the battlefield. It's like I notice their presence when I'm fighting them, and it's no longer where like even as a paladin, I was like, oh, I could just shit on this warrior, but like I feel like I have a good fight with a warrior. Now a priest, though, I'm not gonna lie, Jerome, I feel bad for priest. If a priest is in my way and he doesn't have dispersion, I'm clicking that man to the next stratosphere. I'm sending him packing. I'm sending him to Florida where there's a hurricane down there.
There's 4 in the morning. I queued in solo, and Arcavian, who's in the stream, he just ran up
what's
to
up,
me and 2-hit me with his
Yeah,
bubble up.
yeah.
By the way, so like, I mean, the balance has gone out the window. But I mean, it's fun. But
Oh,
that's
no,
I
for
don't
sure.
see how that's fair at all.
I mean, dude, the balance is wonky as shit, dude, all over the place. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna act like where we slack right now in PVE and we're hoping to see better numbers. In PvP, Rets are we're menaces. I'm not gonna lie. Like deep Ret is fucking disgusting right now.
Predators.
Yeah, like we are menaces. Now, when I fight a shaman, it's like okay, I kind of I can't seal twist as much, so I don't lose mana, and I gotta really play because he's gonna purge, and you can see who the smart ones are. But like, man, yeah, there is some classes out there that are, and you know what? Here's another class. Honestly, we didn't even talk about it, but warlocks. There's some pretty damn good warlocks out there. There
Bro,
are
What's
some
the
like
meta
pretty damn
for
good
for
warlocks.
PvP warlocks?
Dude,
Are they still
they
going
are-
meta?
Well, there is. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of metal. I mean, there probably isn't like a really good metal lock out there, but I know about like the Soul Link lock that is like really strong, and
Ooh.
Affliction is really good as well. And I feel like Warlocks are just another like boomkins. Like they're kind of slept on, but you know their presence when they're there. And then Hunters still hit hard too. Like Chimera Shot's Chimera Shot, right? Like Hunters.
Bro, you
Hunters
put a
smacks
warlock at
still.
farm and they can like hold 1v3 for like a minute. They're just like
Yeah.
I don't even understand how it's so unbelievably broken. I can't even.
No, yeah, there's a lot of classes that are just they're and here's the thing too. I think regardless of like how the class fundamentally is designed or broken, you have to understand how people play that class, because some people play their class like shit in comparison to others. Maybe they just need a little bit more training, or they need to figure out their kit. But the people that you do bump into that know what they're doing, like I've heard recently like people complain about how rogues are really not much of a presence right now in PvP. And I versed a good rogue the other day at Gold Mines, and I was like, dude, I thought this dude was an expert on how he was playing the game. Like the way he was moving on the field, it was insane. And I just think you just gotta learn your class better. But at the same time, there can be adjustments to help some classes that need help in PvP, no matter what.
You know, honestly, I don't know if you guys agree with me, because I know every time I bring it up, it's like a perfect 50-50 split on this. I think until they introduce like a system similar to Resilience, like, or Mastery, where like every class gets a different damage reduction based on gear or whatever, I think it's never gonna be balanced. Because like if everybody gets the same blanket amount of damage reduction in PvP, in my opinion, like that's very unfair for some classes over others. And like that messes with healers. I think the only way we can fix this is that to make a system where every class or spec even maybe gets a different damage reduction based on, I don't know, something. You can be clever about it, you cannot be clever. You can say like maybe shamans are tankier than everybody else, but they do less damage and so on. Because how can you really balance around PvE and not break PvP in the process? I think like it's a little bit more of a band-aid approach to it, that you know some classes like shamans are going to be disgusting all the time, or maybe paladins are going to be disgusting, and you cannot make them like bad because they will suck at PvE. What if they do a lot more damage and they are really good, but they take a lot more damage? I think that's
I will
the way
say
I would fix
though
it.
that it doesn't feel bad. Like it's not phase 1 where the time to kill was too slow. It is a really good time to kill. Like yeah, you can get 3 hit, but the healers do have an impact. Like if you have really good healers and a rep paladin, like you can survive for like a long time. So I think the balance, like as chaotic and kind of broken as it is doesn't feel bad. So I will say that like there's so many fun options you have. So I think that is probably a strength of SoD right now, is that it's chaos, but it is fun chaos.
Controlled chaos. Yeah, I will
Exactly,
say
yeah.
I was talking about it earlier today as well, in regards to balance in PvE and PvP. I feel like the biggest problem Classic has is that when Classic was first designed, certain specs were meant to be shit at PvE so they could be good at PvP, like Red Paladin, Enhancement, Ally Shaman, Boomkin, etc. They were designed around PvP. And then they were absolutely dog shit in PvE. Like, a Red Paladin, like, if you brought a Red Paladin, they were essentially just there to essentially cast kings and shit. Like, cast your little charms, little boy. And like, same thing with Feral. You're just there for crit for the warriors. But in SoD, they tried to fix that, and that leads to a problem when you give Ally Shamans even being mediocre or decent at PvE. They're monsters in PvP. Same thing with tanks now having all this utility and ability, and tanks with the 30 or 40% reduction in damage taken. What is it right now in phase
And
5?
crit immunity for free. Don't forget about that.
Yeah,
No, I
true.
Yeah, and you're talking about the
PvP reduction.
yeah, the PvP reduction. I think it's is it I think it is 40%.
It's something 30 or 40. And
30 or
you
40,
have that on
yeah,
top
yeah.
of that.
I know what
So
you're talking
now
about,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
tanks that are unkillable monsters. And yeah, I do agree with Jerome that it's chaos, but it's controlled chaos, and it doesn't feel as bad. But it's still not balanced. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they can. I don't think you can balance PvP in SoD.
No
like, you're
way.
either balancing PvE or PvP, but one's got to suffer for the other one.
Yeah, I think it's too hard because like you have to look at, you're either gonna have to look at time to kill And if you can't manage the time to kill, then you have to look at classes. And if you can't manage classes without people bitching and complaining about stuff, then you're going to have to manage a reduction. And if you can't manage the reduction, then people are going to complain about the reduction as well. Then you're going to have to add something new. And if you add something new and it's not really considered new and it's something from retail, how retail has in their arenas and BGs, where after a while there's a limited, like after let's say a minute passes in a rated, there's a limited amount of heals that can still go on a person, and those heals get diminished, like a diminishing health return. So everyone's health is kind of closing in. So like it draws like a wire. Who's gonna get the kill? Who's gonna get the one kill? Who's gonna put that last off heal hit? Then people might be like, oh well, that's a retail thing. We don't like that. You should add something new. So there's really never really true good solution. And like you said before, Evan, I'm not too sure if there ever will have one, to be honest with you. And I also have to say, did it get to the point where we just have to accept that there probably won't be one, and that's okay that there isn't any solution? Because at the end of the day, it's classic. Classic was never fucking truly balanced ever, you know. So, and it's SoD as well at the same time on top of it. So I think the one thing that they can do if they really want to go haywire with stuff is just, if they really want to like change things, is maybe just give racials to everybody. Let everybody pick every racial in PvP. Only in PvP.
Orc racial on priest. I'm all in. Let's go.
And only PvP. Like, let everyone pick any racial they want. Only in PvP. It's only a BG thing that you can do, but it doesn't exist if anything in open world. If you want to do that,
right?
If that's the option they want to consider. Just Medina an option.
Finally, have a good racial on his warrior. This is.
You mean I'm gonna give up War Stomp over my dead Torrent body? That's when I'm giving War Stomp
all the time. Yeah,
I mean War Stomp is great. I mean, also like what's the other thing that Torrents have more health, right? You guys have more health.
I don't even know. I just like Torrent. I've never read the abilities.
Well, we don't know what the racials are.
I don't know what they do.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, I would take the health buff. I would take the War Stomp. I love Torrents. I think Torrents are badass, and Orc racial is absolutely busted. So like, it's always been busted. So like, I think I would take one. I would take those two. Or also Undead is pretty good too. What's that one? Will of the Forsaken?
Yeah.
I mean, like, Will of the Forsaken's pretty solid too.
It's so
like
much broken.
Orc racial.
I would take Goblin Rock Boots.
25% stun resistance and free attack power. Like, what's there not to know about orcs?
With War Stomp. War Stomp Ret Paladin. A second stun.
Yes, sir. I would sign up as a Torrent Paladin tomorrow.
You look so sick, too.
It would be so badass. A Torrent Paladin with tier 2.
I really want Torrent Paladins on Classic
on the Horde side with
us.
I really want Torrent Paladins, bro. I'm rolling one right now.
There's a 45-minute video on a private server I'm not going to talk about that has a lot of these ideas in it.
A War Stomp.
I know exactly what you're saying. It starts with a T.
No, it starts with an A.
He's talking about, yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about that one, man. Fuck that one.
Oh, the other one is fine, okay? The one that's run by Hungarian criminals is fine, but the one that's run by a Russian prostitute is like off the table. That one is fine. That was unacceptable.
I said T is good, not A. T is okay. Not A.
Okay, guys, T or A? I'm making a poll.
T or A?
I'm not gonna lie, you guys lost me on this one.
I was talking about the one that's okay. There's two private servers that are Classic Plus.
I know what we're talking about now. My bad.
Like a slow-moving green one.
True.
There's a slow-moving green one, and then there's one that's like when you're going in the air and you're like an angel. You're ascending.
Yeah. I pick T. T is this by far. I voted
A.
I want.
Interesting.
Really? A over T. You're really doing A over T?
What are we talking about again?
The two
I prefer them generous on the legs, honestly, so I'm gonna go for A.
Are we talking about Raid Shadow Legends? What are we talking about?
I thought we were talking about tits or ass. Yeah,
please vote
tits or ass. Oh, true.
That's not fair, though. That's not fair. Like I like the ass, but in this game context, it's the titties. Like,
I'll take white mane all day, 24/7. Mograine is right. Put me at the Scarlet Crusade 100%.
White mane stick, bro. She's stick.
Look at this shit.
Okay, all of this will be probably cut out of the official San Medina podcast.
No, it's not. It's going live. It's just going out.
Keep it in. Keep it in.
We're going live.
No, this was
Keep it in.
Recorded.
Don't cut it.
I'm live right now.
San Medina, here, $5. Keep it in, brother. Keep it in. Take that.
That's how you Twitch sub. You just throw at the monitor $5 and it
Twitch
turns
sub,
into a
that's-
Twitch sub.
Keep it in.
Sally
Keep
Whiteman.
it in. There it is. That's what I'm telling you, brother. Keep it in.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, people are voting for A a little more right now, so I
I voted
guess...
for A.
Amen.
Yeah, there you go. We got fellow connoisseurs here, I guess. We're representing...
Hello, connoisseurs.
I'll
We're
take
representing-
both of them on a Tuesday all week long.
How did you make that poll so quickly? YouTube is really advanced here.
Oh, you
Yeah,
just press
YouTube
a
is
button
literally
and
just
you hit
those
make
little
poll.
button.
It's
and
in
you
the
click make
chat.
poll. Yeah, it's like 3 seconds.
It's in the
My
bottom of the
God.
chat.
The future is here.
The
Dude,
the
I
last
would
thing that
say
pisses
only
me off
YouTube
about
gave-
YouTube is that you hit live and you're not live. That's the last thing that's pissing me off about it. Like, they get rid of that and it's a perfect platform. It's the last thing that's...
I'd like
if
to-
they put
The
Go ahead.
viewers need to understand that Ebonhardt and Medina spent 35 minutes making thumbnails for their streams. They have to make
No.
thumbnails. to go live.
I like
not
that.
35 minutes. It took me about 4 minutes. I went live. I did this. I made a face. I forgot what face I did. I recorded it.
I need to
copied
see
it.
the face again.
Like fuck. It's like
You
or
got
some
a
shit
soy
like that, whatever.
jacket.
um.
I kind of
Yeah, and
like the
essentially,
stream
I
thumbnails a little rougher and like crappier. I think it's
More
part of the
authentic,
appeal.
yeah.
Like, you don't want to have like a
That's fair.
fully produced thumbnail for a stream. It kind of beats the purpose, honestly. If it were up to me, I
Absolutely.
would remove them. But I don't really mind them. But if it were up to me, I would definitely remove thumbnails from streams on YouTube. I think
Yeah,
it
So
can
I'm
I
be
just
completely
put more
derailed
effort
us.
into it. So
What-
many
what do you
people would
think
jump
about-
over to YouTube.
What do you think about PvP balance, Ebonhardt? Oh, you already answered that.
I
What
did.
were you-
I think
I'm
they're not
sorry, I
gonna
derailed
achieve
us
it.
very badly.
You're good. You're good. We
If
could
you
go
could
wanna
back.
talk
delete
about
shamans of the
affixes?
game, would you remove shamans of the game?
Would I
Yeah,
remove
yeah,
Shaman?
no. Yeah, get rid of shamans, but get rid of rep paladins too. And get rid of gnomes. If we're like just in a fantasy land where we're getting rid of things, sure.
You're like the
I get
brother
rid of
I never
gnomes as well.
had.
I vote for the gnomes.
Yeah, gnomes.
Like they should have nuked Nomergan and let no gnome escape.
I thought they did. It's irradiated and
They
stuff,
tried.
right? But they just keep coming back. We tried everything.
I said nuke, not irradiation.
How do
It's
you
different.
irradiate Nomergan?
Theramore. What happened to Theramore? Do that in American.
I don't know. Like Garros was like so based that like a purple beam of him being awesome destroyed a town and turned it into a crater. I think that's what happened. That's what I remember from Pandaria. Garros for
Speaking
president.
of purple beams, though, Medina, what do you think about affixes? Like, what kind of combination of affixes, could really get you going?
Well, I think the hottest
I was trying to
affixes
segue
right now.
that. I don't think I segued that very well. I don't know. I'm trying here.
Well,
That's
like
all
if I
good.
were to rank them, we can do a little ranking here. I would like that. But I think like my ranking of the easiest to the hardest is like blue is the easiest and green is the
What?
second
No,
easiest.
yellow's the easiest. What are you
Okay,
saying?
yeah, you're
How-
right.
Yellow
Yellow doesn't do
swing?
anything anymore. You're right. They nerfed
What
it to
the
hell. Okay. Let me correct that. Yellow, blue, green, red, black. That's the way I would do it. How would you do it?
I would swap blue and green around, but
Yeah, green and blue swap.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I feel like
Interesting.
you can do blue by accident just by having a lot of people. But
it's just
green,
if blue
you
gets
can
on a
mess up.
tank. If blue gets on a tank, like when the tank's positioned somewhere, it's kind of wonky. So blue is only bad because of that. But
I'm
aside
moving
from that,
blue. It's harder, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know I don't remember red at all. Like, I think we did red the first week,
The
and I don't
healing
even
one.
know. I guess their healing just must have been amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
I
people
know
kept
about
dying
need
to
that.
it.
4 healers.
Yeah.
I think we lost a lot of people to it, but I just was like, I was ignoring them, I think. A lot of world buffs were lost to that.
It kind
Yeah,
of
you just
sucks.
gotta
gotta take
combos,
honestly.
though. Like, what's like the hardest combo of affixes? Because you have to do 3 to get max loot, right? And then one of them is like forced on you. Like a
I kind
rotating
of like
thing.
that. You remember Halfus in Cataclysm where they chose all 3 affixes that you would have to do on that guy, and like if you got
How
like
could I
2 of the
forget?
worst ones, oh yeah, how could we forget that boss in particular? We only been stuck on that guy for 2 hours, and then a French guy started yelling at me.
That PTR session caused C-Dank to switch to Alliance.
We
I haven't
ruined him.
talked to him since.
I think the red affix is definitely the hardest one though. Besides, like obviously like doing black, but I think red because like if you don't have good healers and the healers are not aware of it, like really shitty healers can ruin your run. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I would agree
if
with
they're just
that.
not paying attention. To be honest,
Like,
because like the other ones are very simple: blue you stack, green you move out, the stop and go, whatever. But like the red one is like it's a healing thing, like
I think
based on
for
healing.
an organized guild that knows what the black affix does, is definitely gonna be like way easier than the red affix, because the red affix you gotta deal with even if you're awesome or if you suck. But the black one is
Yeah.
like,
I will say though, this is where it gets a little bit buggy. There are weird things that can happen with some of these affixes that aren't like well thought out. For example, the stop and go mechanic. So you could have the stop and go on Ebonhardt and Flamegore. It's like Squid Game, right? You have the girl like she turns around and then she like says something and then she shoots everybody. Like it's sort of like that. So like you could have the green affix right when it says to go, like at the exact identical time. Or you could have it when you stop. So it's like I had the stop mechanic right when the green like put it on the ground for my character, and then I almost died. So like I think there are gonna be some hilarious clips of things happening where like a really bad combination of things that wasn't thought out happens back to back.
that's what happened to me on like the first week we did Ebonrock and Flamegore, and we couldn't kill it because of the DPS check at the end. And I go like, okay guys, don't worry, we're gonna unboon, everything is gonna go perfect. And I was doing a
Oh,
different
no.
strat. Yeah, bro. I was doing a different strat back then where like I would have like just one hunter with me and a healer instead of doing half the raid and half the raid. Don't ask me why I changed it. And like basically like we got lucky the first couple pulls and we didn't notice it. But like then the pull when we unboon, the healer and the hunter get the blue affix on them and they blow up and I die.
Yeah, we
The
had that
boon
same thing
pull.
happen. Our warlock tank got the blue affix for some reason, and he didn't have enough soakers. Like it was just like great because we only had like 2 people there.
Damn.
Good
I can
times.
just pyro it out now. Haha. Take that.
He's gonna brag about his Spyro every 10 minutes.
Yes, I got a
Damn
cool
Spyro
shield.
shield.
It's honestly
Damn.
such a goofy shield. You just see everyone else like the dark grimness, and like Spyro.
Damn Spyro shield, man.
I
Unbelievable.
got the sword of bloodthirst. I am a monster on my quest for vengeance, and then I brought this fairy dragon. You know, it reminds me of the South Park episode, the Guitar Hero one, where he's chasing the dragon and like he's high on heroin, and like the dragon is like, oh yeah, let's go, and it's like a cartoon world because he's good, like
Yeah.
baked. That's me though. I know it
that's
grew
you,
on
brother.
me. It kind of grew on me because it is like so gigantic as a shield that it kind of looks cool on a torrent just because like it melts into my back or something. I don't know.
It looks cool. I think it looks cool, in fairness.
I miss the Draconian
I actually-
Deflector though. I like that shield. It's simple and just works, you know?
I actually have a question real quick. So we're talking about like affixes and things of that nature. Like we know AQ40s next. We might be lucky and get Karazhan or whatnot. What kind of affix and things would you like to carry forward? Like what should the difficulty thing be? Because they're gonna do another difficulty thing, right? Like obviously, but like what should they do? Like what do you guys think would be like the ideal improvement from MC's heat to Blackwing Lair's affixes? Like what would be the best way forward in your opinion?
I would slowly make
think
it less
it's
impactful
called-
until they remove it. Like they are doing right now.
What did they do in Season of Mastery? There was like a whole thing for AQ40. That was really when they went hard on it, right? They had like you could change the difficulty and like add, I don't know, it was crazy, right? It was like really difficult stuff.
Cotton was
you got, like,
impossible. I
extra loot.
remember that. Like nobody could do Cotton in Mastery.
what if let me ask this though, like what if they don't do a difficulty system, but what if they actually just add different phases to bosses that change their whole mechanics as a whole? Like what if they like, change the bosses in there where it's like, oh, you thought the phase was over, but there's another thing about this boss that has another element of like surprises awaiting, and it's no longer like, okay, everyone picks this difficulty or that difficulty, but it's all equaled out. It's all the same for everybody, but it's just more actual
Variety.
different abilities, different variety, different rotation, more phases, and like there's other implementations to bring to the raid, rather than like everyone saying, okay, are we doing the mythic clearing now of SoD, or are we doing the normal clearing of SoD? It's all the same. I honestly think they should go back to that. That's just my personal opinion, because like this like split divide on what players should be playing and not be playing. I mean, it's nice to give people options. I mean, maybe that's something they're adopting from retail, because it really is a retail thing that they're adopting. But I just think it would be cool if it's all under just one hood, and it's like, okay, the whole actual raid is changing. I mean, what are your guys' opinions on that?
Honestly, like,
I agree
the
with
thing
that.
about hard
Yeah.
modes is you gotta entice people to do them, so you gotta give them more loot or better loot or something. And like, if they do the flex mode, which I think has been really successful, at least from me, I've been enjoying the raid a lot more with the flex mode on it. Like, the meta is just to do like the hard modes with 5 more people. Honestly, I mean,
I don't
that's what
mind
I'm gonna be
flex,
doing.
but like, I don't mind flex, but like the question is like, would you prefer affixes or actual raid changes?
I'll do a little bit
I
of
think
both.
what we need is. I mean, I like the affixes. It does kind of suck that there's like heat. Heat was a good example where everyone was doing a different version of the raid, and so it felt like the player base was kind of disconnected from each other, a
Yeah.
little bit at least. Or
I
it's
think the
like
numbers,
a lot of people I
like-
know. I mean, people never did Heat 3, and so I mean,
Yeah,
I was doing
exactly.
a different raid than everyone else.
True.
15%
Yeah.
of the player base was the only people that ever saw the last boss that they added. I think that's the reason they
Yeah,
got
you
rid
don't
of
even
it.
get the last boss. That's so weird to me. You don't get the last boss in the other Heat modes. I really
Yeah.
didn't even realize that until like a week ago.
I mean, like, it's a flaming chicken nugget that people hated anyway, but you know, it would have been a little cool if I
I
could
thought
at
it
least
was-
see it.
It's the best
Respect
new
the
boss.
spicy nugget.
It's the best new boss in WoW history, and I don't know what you guys are being really mean right now.
Yeah,
I
like,
like
a
the
lot of it
spicy
is so
nugget.
impressive, bro.
The disrespect
It's
on
like-
the meatball, my Italian
It's like
heritage.
the new. It's
crazy.
better than Queen Ansurek, let me tell you. Mythic Queen Ansurek versus Meatball.
Can you
I know what I
imagine that
mean.
that was the final boss of fucking like Mythic WoW in like retail? Mythic Neverbar Palace. The last boss was a spicy
That'd be so
fucking
sick,
void
though.
meatball.
The
It's the
void
void
meatball. The meatballs collide.
Yeah, like,
That'd
I don't
be
know,
real-
like,
think
the
it's
Molten
Italian,
Core is the
yeah.
last boss of the Molten Core. What if for AQ40 we just gotta fight 40 Qs and 40 As? That's the way I would do it. Like, just like leather
Dude,
people fighting you.
There's a model in game called the Blackwing Lair. It's an actual fucking thing in game,
Oh,
and it's
no.
called
Oh,
the
God.
Blackwing Lair. And it's like I think they made it as a joke or it was just like a placeholder prop within Blackwing Lair. But it's just like a human who's called the Blackwing Lair. It's not even a
I have
joke.
an idea on this. Okay, it's a city. We have to fight on Courage, and it's like a giant city on like with legs, and he's like walking around like hitting us. It'd be so sick, right? I mean, that'd be so sick.
Yeah,
You're
the final
fighting
boss
a-
of Naxxramas should be the Naxxramas, and we're fighting the fucking citadel itself. Like,
Oh my god, it could be
What
like the
if it's
pyramid
just
head
a
guy.
demolition job? The entire fight is a demolition job, and I'm like, oh, Jerome, we got the
Oh.
wheelbarrow face, and he's like, no, Medina, the crane mechanic is pumping right now. I gotta pick it up.
Oh my god, don't drop the wrecking ball, bro. We gotta.
Dust
Come
the
on, man.
bricks.
Dude, the wrecking ball job, very important.
Oh no, for real.
There's also somebody who has to like dust off everything after they finish demolishing, right? You got to get rid of all the dust and the debris.
Okay, boys, here comes the enraged. Get inside the porta potty.
Okay, dude.
The porter potty.
why haven't you finished the shitting mechanic yet? We can't get until you finish.
Jerome, you're
I
seeing
don't know
too
what
much.
you guys. Your vision of WoW is very different than mine for some reason.
I don't know, man.
a
Sounds
Latin
a lot
American
cooler than the
vision.
Molten Core, let me tell you that.
Mm.
I mean,
Whoever made that is every time people make fun of it, they must their heart must fall so much, dude. That was their
That's
life's
like
work.
KSI's new song.
they had
Just
a,
make
Yeah,
a
it
meeting.
you.
They had a meeting of 8 people or so. And like nobody in that meeting had the guts to tell Agren that it was stupid. Like that's just
Well,
crazy. That's just crazy.
He's had it on his whiteboard for 10 years, so he's been dreaming of this meatball.
Oh god. I hope that's not true.
He's been hungry for this one meatball for 10 years. He hasn't seen a meatball since. That's funny. That's good.
He wanted to make a cross promotion with Subway, but they scratched it at the last minute because
The
of a
whole
marketing
team went to
deal.
Olive Garden the night before the pitch meeting, and they
Dude,
just had such good meatballs that they just
Bro,
knew they
I'll
had
keep
to-
it a buck. If I'm at that Olive Garden with them, I'd fuck up some breadsticks.
Dude,
Don't
don't,
Oh,
don't
wait,
talk about
wait.
You're making me want Olive Garden. I want breadsticks now.
get me
On a
wrong,
budget.
bro. Don't
You
get me
guys
wrong,
make
bro.
fun of the meatball, but the other option was a breadstick. So
Yeah, if it was a bread, if it was a big meatball, but all around it was a bunch of breadsticks, I don't know whether I'd be able to complete that raid. I'd be hungry the whole time.
Like, I don't know why they didn't like the meatball's cool, but like part of me is like wondering like that meeting to design the 11th boss. Like out of everything they pitched, why
That
was
was
the
the
meatball
one, right?
the best option? Yeah, like what were the other options? That the meatball was the best option. Like they had to sort of like Uber Ragnaros or like Major Domo coming back as like enraged Domo or some shit. Like
True.
meatball.
They should have let us grab the breadsticks that were around the meatball, and then the
You're
residue
100%
from the
right.
meatball that was going into the lava pit was like a nice pot of sauce, and we
And
would
there should have
grab
been
the
like
breadsticks.
little butter pats that you could put on the
Yes, little
breadstick
butter
to really
packets, and
elevate
then
it up. You know?
and we dip, and we continue dipping, and we use the
And
weapon to get
instead
him
of
down
lava,
to
you get
25%.
pasta sauce.
And when
He
he's
has
at
to eat all pasta sauce.
15%, and when he's at 15%, like a small dessert comes down. Now that could be a chocolate cake, that could be a
turtle
cheesecake,
cheesecake.
that could be, you know, a little
Little
pie,
vanilla ice cream?
some options. Yeah. Now we're playing WoW. Now we're playing WoW. That was
Okay,
fun.
guys, it's phase 3.
I
Pop
j-
your spoons.
I can't wait to
I'll-
phase 6. Phase 6 is gonna
I
be
want-
lit. Cannoli too
AQs
would be nice. Yeah.
Dude, I like we're gonna go into AQ, and I don't know if they're gonna make a new raid boss for AQ, but on God, I swear to God, I really hope after you defeat Cthulhu, the last boss is called the Ankh-Raj, and just fucking go with the meme. At this point, embrace it and just make the
Oh, God,
Ankh-Raj
no.
as the final boss.
You know, I said this, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, but this is what I've been saying all the time. All they had to do was grab a random fire elemental from retail. They got 20 of those models already. There's not a lot of work. All they gotta do is get that guy in the raid, call him Ragnaros Jr., and nobody would have complained. That's all they had to do. That's all
But
they
he's
had
like
to do,
really
bro.
tiny though. We're talking like 2 feet tall. He's like a little kid Ragnaros.
Ragnaros Jr., yes.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
like that.
Yeah.
He's very small.
I mean,
Hate Spark
dude,
the Tiny.
I mean, dude, memes aside, I said so many things like even early on in phases where I thought it was cool. Like if they wanted really to tie the whole Void thing with Xalatath into SoD, they could have manipulated Ragnaros. They could have manipulated Nefarian. She could have been manipulating the timeline within BWL Molten Core. She could there could have been so many cool things that like
Bro,
changed the phases. But
Imagine if they
we didn't
just
get none
have
of that.
Rag come back and he just has like a shadow like glow on him. Like that would be
Yeah.
enough. And Xalatath shows up for like 5 seconds.
That would
And
have
that's
been
it.
Yeah.
Like that would be
Honestly,
enough.
the jailer should be there. The jailer should
And-
have been pulling the strings from the beginning.
And it doesn't even need to be Xalatath. It could just be like a portal opens up like in the sky, and then just her toes dangle down, and it's just Xalatath's
God.
feet, and it's just the toes, and we know it's Xalatath because we've seen those toes before.
And there is not
since
even
Rito
any
does a
loot, and
great
people
job
just
on
want to do
zooming
the
in
raid
on that.
anyway.
Yeah, and it's just toe. Maybe the next boss is a toe boss. Maybe the next boss is the foot in AQ, the foot of AQ, the foot of AQ.
How have they not hired you yet? Is my question.
I
really.
don't get it.
I don't.
I
get
don't
it
get
either.
it. What's going on? I'm getting packed. That's what's going on, man. I'll tell you that much right now.
Ooh, someone in chat just said for Nax they should do the Ziggurat, where after KT you kill KT, you have like a timed instance, so you have 2 minutes, or like 3 minutes, you have to kill trash and escape Nax Ramus, like run out.
That's cool.
Ooh.
And that
Wait,
should
we're
be the
just-
final
we're just
boss
robbing-
of Nax.
We're
Yeah.
just stealing from Escape from Tarkov now. What won't they steal? We're just making.
That's a baller idea. Like on God,
I
that's
know it
fucking
is.
sick.
It's sick, dude.
Sometimes you got to steal in order to make the best ideas happen.
Dude, how
do
much
this all
better
the
would
time.
it be at the end of the raid? Instead of everyone handing out loot, you're like running for your lives and like grabbing everything you can.
And you
'Cause,
forget
like, we
to loot
always
the
spend
boss,
way
and
too
when you
much
want to
time.
pick it up, it exploded, so you can't.
Just like on the
Actually,
ceiling.
Actually, question: would you guys? This is just a side question before we get back onto the Blackwing Lair. Would you guys play a game mode where on death they can steal your loot?
I've pitched this many times, and everyone always says it's the worst idea of all time. So even 1 week of it, people are like, "No, not even 1 week. We can't do it."
I
So-
think that
Separate
you
game,
would
but I
have
would level
to.
that.
You have to change some mechanics of the game, but it definitely works. Like the one that people are voting for right now, they had a game mode like that, and like I personally edited for a bunch of people that made content on that back in the day, and it's really fun. It's really interesting. Like
I thought
from
A
the
stood for
perspective of
ass.
a content creator, man. It's great. Like the whole, like that's what I miss about Albion. That I could go live, Albion Online. You could go live at any moment, and anything you could do as bad as mundane as it was interesting because you could always die and lose your stuff. I would like that for a while. I would definitely.
So like an
love it.
extraction mode like Tarkov for World of Warcraft, where there's like three classes you can go into a match with. It can't all be the same class, just 3 classes, and then see who comes out the victor, kind of like that. I mean, I would.
That
I
was
would
like-
buy it. Sounds
That's
Yeah,
what's in
interesting.
honestly- And you can res your teammates, so they have to kill all 3 people to get the loot. And so it's like, but if you leave your teammate after like a 60, 80-second timer, they can just loot him. So like me, Tallow, and Jerome just running. They get Tallow. Jerome's like, we gotta save him, but I'm gonna be like,
No.
It's
I'll
too
be
late.
like, we gotta
Gotta go.
keep going, guys.
Let's go.
You can res me. No, we gotta keep going, bro. Sorry.
No, dude. No,
I don't gotta be
God.
faster. I don't gotta be stronger or better. I just gotta be faster than both of you.
I can be
I
fast
don't know
with
if
you guys. I'll
you
just-
ever played Albion online, but basically every raid at any time when you're doing a raid, some other raid can come in and kill you. Like,
Yeah, I played.
can you
Albion,
imagine
I
the
remember.
stakes of that? Just thinking of that in your head, like, do we gotta balance out how many PvP people do we get on top of our PvE people to kill the raid, to protect us? Like, even if you're like a crappy healer that doesn't do anything, all of a sudden you're interesting because you're trying to save everybody from dying from the raid, or sometimes you're trying to do the raid and you find another raid in the raid, and then you gotta kill them. Like, it's a content machine. Like, the opportunity for that is like so fun. And I think a lot of my
That'd be cool as a
casual
separate game
friends
mode.
that kind of don't play WoW anymore because they got bored of it, they would get them back. I wish they do something
Yeah.
like that.
I think it'd be dope as a separate game mode, but like maybe not part of like obviously like Classic Plus, but like it could be
Of course.
something that if they were to try it, then maybe they get ideas from how they can implement it within like other versions of WoW or other
Like
things that they can give it a
Plunderstorm.
shot.
Well,
I mean, Plunder.
this is-
Plunder was
this is
too
where we
late in
need-
my opinion, but
Yeah.
I feel you.
We need
Yeah,
WoW to
Plunder
become
only
more
came out 8
agile.
years late.
We need WoW to become more agile because RuneScape just added a feature. Well, they're adding it where you can like make your own private server as like a
Yeah.
community, and that kind of thing. Like, imagine if you really could almost do anything you wanted. Like, it seems like for WoW to do a new server, they have to spend a ton of money on the server, and like it just can't be like, oh, we're gonna do this fun idea for a week. It has to be like a whole thing. And I feel like they need to somehow get to the point where they can just do weird little ideas for like a week or two.
I think it would honestly make sense. Like I was trying to make a video on it. The only issue was there was no way to really spin it in a good enough way. But honestly, I think they should, because think about it. You already have TWoW, you have AWoW, you have all these other versions. Imagine all the classic Andys that want a shittier, harder version of classic. Give it to them. The people that want just a slightly tuned classic, give it to them. The TBC era, give it. Like, and you can just make them pay money. Don't make it cheap. Make it like a business expense. And then they take 25% of the revenue you generate as like it goes to Blizzard. And you need to have a sub to play as well. So you can sell whatever the fuck you want on the store. Like, let
I
them have
think-
the
The
private
concern is-
servers.
Well,
They
Medina has
will.
some-
I think that there is so much trauma in Blizzard. Even though they kind of should do it, I would like that. I think there is so much trauma in Blizzard to this day of losing Dota to Valve that they really don't want to let players do anything. Like, you saw the terms of service of Warcraft 3, like how they made it so they get to own everything you make, which kind of gives them in a lot of legal trouble. That's a different question, but
Well, like,
they
servers wouldn't
are
even be
so
that
upset
expensive
at
now.
that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they
That
lost
is-
Dota. Do you guys
that
know
is
the
a-
Dota story?
Vaguely.
It was a mod for Warcraft 3, yeah.
Well, no, they pitched it to Blizzard. The official makers of the Dota mod pitched it to Blizzard to say make it an official game mode, and Blizzard said, "No, we're
No.
good. People are only playing your game mode because of Warcraft 3. Out of Warcraft 3, it's a shit game. Nothing's gonna happen with this." So they then made League of Legends. Like, they pitched it to Blizzard directly first for Blizzard to publish and make it themselves, and Blizzard said no.
That's so sad.
Wow.
But
Like,
I
That
think
sounds
you're right,
like a
though,
very
like-
Blizzard decision, you know? Like,
This is-
they got like that hubris around them sometimes.
but maybe this is like bad thing to say, but if you let players come up with their own ideas, what if one of them is more popular than what Blizzard wants you to be? Like, they want us to play retail, you know, new expansion. It's really fun. I'm glad it exists. But what if everyone's playing Soda Poppin's new game mode instead, and like no one's buying retail? That's really bad for them. Like, if they're giving us too many options, it could become a problem. That's my theory, at least. But
I see what you're saying. But if you're still paying a sub to play on these private servers, they still make money off you.
but they could be. They're not.
Yeah, they
You're
could
not
sell
playing.
you
You're not
mounts and
investing in
crap.
retail though.
That's
Right,
what they
but then
would
they can just
like.
take 50% of the flat revenue you make. So if Soda's selling mounts, they still take 50% flat revenue. They
I
can
don't
do what
know.
Roblox does, where they don't even give you that much. You get like the Roblox keeps 70% of the profits. Roblox makes billions. Roblox is worth double Blizzard's net worth. Roblox
Yeah, I
is like
think
an
they're
$18
worth over
billion
100
company.
billions or something like that now, the company. It's like insane.
Yeah,
I,
Roblox would make
I
them pay.
bet.
I read that.
Oh, like,
It's
I mean-
But
I mean,
also,
ridiculous.
like, no one knows what's going on in Roblox, and maybe
Hmm.
like Blizzard doesn't. Why would they want it to be like that when they could have? I mean, maybe Roblox would rather it be more like narrative and like we have a new expansion coming, but they just ended up with this other model instead. Like, who's to say that it isn't better to have new expansions and stuff?
Well, from their point of view, they are killing it because they gotta spend zero money making content, zero money making stuff. Everybody makes it for them, and they get to like charge a fee for that, and like whatever is the hottest thing, they get to have it for free. I don't think it's a terrible idea.
I think the whole goal right now for Blizzard is really exploring the retail expansions and seeing how far that takes them, and then also obviously evolving the classic player base obviously into something new. But I mean, your guys' ideas as far as like, private, I guess, so like private servers, if there were like streamer servers or whatever server that people can like invest money into and buy, kind of like they do on Battlefield, kind of like they do on Conan Exiles, is another game that you could buy a server on and play with all your friends and, manipulate the game settings to make it very hardcore or very casual or very like, raid friendly, because there's raids in that type of game as well. I really think at the end of the day, it just comes down onto where their vision is as a company and where they want to move on forward with, depending on the assets and money that they're making in this year and the next years to come. And I feel like if they want to ever expand into something broader and bigger, it's going to require a big risk, whether that be a new game mode that's totally different from, retail and classic, or whether that is, classic plus or whatever we're calling it. And I'm not, or maybe it's a whole new IP. Maybe it's, a quote unquote new version of WoW that's different from both retail and classic. Who knows? But I definitely think at the end of the day, it all requires them to take that leap of faith, so to say, in order to get involved with the times, because a lot of other companies right now are really doing, better in terms of numbers. They have more viewers, they have more people involved with their games. Games are expanding, and I don't know how long will the same model that they're following will last in the next couple years if they follow this, trajectory of, okay, we're just going to expand upon retail, and once retail's done with all its expansions, where do we go on after that? You know what I mean? Like, what happens at the end of the line when retail's done? What happens at the end of the line, even when we get involved with Classic Plus? Like, who knows where we would go from there?
Yeah, like people say that there is no competitor to WoW and it's a monopoly, and I don't think that's the case anymore. Like, Final Fantasy XIV and Albion Online may not be as big as WoW, but they took a huge bite out of WoW. That's gonna hurt. Like, I don't think it's gonna take like that much more. I mean, like 3 or 4 more games like that, and I don't think the WoW budget is sustainable anymore. And that's
the biggest
concerning.
indictment of WoW right now is the fact that the new MMOs aren't copying WoW. That's like, it's like Throne and Liberty. Like, yeah, it's maybe 20% WoW, but it's not 85%. It used to be like every game was just WoW. And now it's like they're copying from Diablo, they're copying from Guild Wars, all these other games now.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at Albion. Like, Albion is a great example. Like, people like to like pretend it's not a big deal. I think it's like 100,000 players right now or something like that across the launcher and mobile and everything. It's a phone game, haha. But like, Albion has such a unique identity that's nothing like WoW. Nothing. Or RuneScape. I even forgot about RuneScape. RuneScape used to be a dead game for like 10 years. And now it's freaking huge.
I mean, I think the problem with MMOs is that it's not pulling in new audiences. Battle Royales, FPSs, like, kids, they grow, they get old, they get 8, 9, 10, whatever, and they pick a genre. And that's a game like Roblox where you can play an FPS, you can play this, roleplay, this or that. They play GTA, they play FIFA. But I don't think the MMO genre is replenishing its players. Like, as people quit the MMO genre, I don't think more people are becoming MMO players. I think the issue is you can't copy WoW because it's like there's no fresh blood in that. That's why all these MMOs are becoming more, I don't know, idealized, stylized in different ways. I guess that's my theory, at least. I'm not sure if I'm correct or not.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword where like most of the MMO audience is old and they have money, and that makes them a lot more valuable to chase. But yeah, like, you gotta make a game that appeals to the kids. And like, I think Albion is a stepping stone in that direction. And sadly, I know it freaking sucks, but if you wanna go for kids these days, you gotta go for mobile platforms or console at least. And that's gonna be I don't know if that's gonna translate into like adult MMO players. I don't think the kids playing Albion Online today are gonna care about MMOs 5 years from now. That's a whole different discussion.
No, I think at the end of the day, kids and like the young fan base too, like they're more excited with games that really just like catch them, and it really gets their attention fast, like something that's snappy and it picks up on them and that they want to get involved and they don't want to like spend so much time in an MMO that feels like this game is like endless, like running, endless grinding everywhere. So people really are not caring about that style of gaming anymore, especially the younger generation, in my opinion, at least. And I really feel like, at the end of the day, this is up to like the companies that make MMOs to show that, this is not only for like, a specific genre of players, but this is meant for every player to enjoy. And whether that new MMO that comes out is, brought to you by Blizzard or brought to you by another company in a couple months or who knows, I think more and more people just need to realize that, MMOs are not meant really for everyone. And in order for MMOs to really spark something going on, it has to really cater towards the younger generation more than anybody. Because like it's, not like, to be honest with you, how many kids right now are playing classic WoW? Like kids.
Here's a question.
And some people get their parents get their kids to play it, but it's like not many that I know. If hardly, I don't know anybody that does that.
Do you think the flex rating of BWL and the affix system is enough to get the entire younger generation back on board? What do you think?
It's still not appealing to them.
No.
Like one thing playing Throne and Liberty that I kinda remembered is that I forgot how insurmountable it is to learn a new game, bro. Like, I tried to figure out how to upgrade my gear. The shortest guide I could find on it is an hour-long guide. I mean, if I were a kid today, if I were like my 16-year-old today, I wouldn't get a new MMO again. I don't think I would care.
I think I see probably I could see more young people playing Throne and Liberty because they're trying it out, seeing if it's like for them or or not, more than I see anybody even touching Classic WoW.
Yeah,
I could see more people even playing what's that other game, Once Human. I could see them playing that in comparison to even touching Classic WoW, because Once Human's kind of like it's a different like third person over the shoulder shooter style game, action, and I could see them trying that out. But when it comes to like Classic WoW, it's just Classic WoW, like the appeal and the effect that it had once in the early 2000s, it's not there anymore, and that will never come back. So it's about how do we expand upon either Blizzard saying we need to expand upon Classic Plus to make it fresh, make it hip, so we can market it to everyone, or at the same time we don't do that and we just cater to our player base, but realize that we're giving up on an entire market. And then at that point they need to ask themselves, should we just make a whole new product, like a new IP, or maybe a possible WoW 2, who knows, that like tries to get everybody in the market, not just old people or middle age, but young people as well. So it's tough. It is a tough decision to really talk about business wise.
I mean, honestly, that's what's happening with like the Riot MMO. The reason they canceled it was because Ghostcrawler, he made a great MMO, but I think Riot as a company doesn't care about making a great MMO or a great FPS. They care about making the most marketable, playable game. And I think making a good MMO isn't enough anymore. I think they're reinventing the MMO genre over at Riot Games because they have access to hundreds of millions of people willing to try the game, like League of Legends. Like, WoW, even for being generous, and let's be generous and say there's 8.5 million subs right now. It's probably less than that.
I am willing to guess that Age of Empires 2 is bigger than WoW right now, which is like ridiculous. I am willing to guess that's the case.
I don't think so, but let's just say 8.5 million WoW players. Even if every single player was playing once a day uniquely, League of Legends has, I think, 60 million unique daily players. There's 185 million unique monthly unique users. 185 million per month playing League of Legends.
And it was probably bigger before.
And consider this doesn't count China. That's just Europe, every country but China. 185 million. Like, that's the kind of audience that people are trying to reach. Like, Fortnite has like, what is it, like 75 million monthly unique players? Call of Duty has like 220. Like, when you consider these numbers, you're just sitting here like, no shit, nobody's playing World of Warcraft because just, I don't know. I think someone's going to reinvent the genre.
That's kind of what they said, right? Like, they said they canceled the project because of that. They would say something in the likes of, we realized we were doing something that everybody else was doing and we wanted to do something new. Wasn't that what they stated?
Yeah. Essentially, it was just a better version of WoW. It was just
Yeah.
It was League of Legends, but a better version of WoW.
I was gonna say I'm a believer in history repeating itself, and I think things happen in waves. Things come in like little motions, and in the beginning we got like I remember even like if we're even just, I know this conversation's definitely stirred all the way from BWL and affixes at this point, but I'll say this as much as as in terms of gaming and where we went from like the late 90s, everybody in home console games, to the early 2000s PC gaming really coming into play. Your CS coming out, people are playing PC Doom, Unreal Tournament, getting into World of Warcraft early on. I remember even Star Wars Galaxies, like getting involved with that. A lot of MMOs, started surging, a lot of other things, early Lord of the Rings Online. And the way things changed into like the mid 2000s, the popularity of like, multiplayer games like Halo, Gears of War, Call of Duty, a lot of things started happening. Skyrim started coming out, Red Dead Redemption, all this other stuff. Fast forward into the late 2000s, and even, what's going on now with like gaming, where it's kind of all over the place, and their gaming is everywhere in a sense. And I feel like right now, the battle royales, battle royales was a big genre that we had for a long time, and now battle royales are kind of like dead in the water a little bit, to be honest. They're not. People are still playing them. Like obviously, people are playing Fortnite. They're still playing the CODs and stuff. But what I'm getting at is that I think that time for MMOs, it's going to take that one MMO to do it, to come back, and it could be Blizzard. It could be Ashes, it could be Riot, but it's gonna, or even Throne of Liberty. It's trying to give itself a name, right? I know New World we have in a couple weeks where they're coming out with their new expansion. But I'll say this: I think it's gonna take that one MMO to come back and say, guess what? The MMO genre, it's alive, it's breathing, and brought to you by who is the question? Is it going to be Blizzard, the one who's going to be the pioneers leading that, road to the new revolution of MMOs being hype again? Is it going to be another company? And I think Blizzard needs to start. Maybe they already started doing this in their developer room, but like, are they considering the fact that are they going to be the leader into the future for the MMO hype again, or will they take the back seat? Is the question.
It's kind of scary because whatever the good MMO is that comes out and kills WoW, quote unquote, haha, the joke, it's gonna look like nothing we've ever seen before. Like, how can you predict what that's gonna look like?
Right, MMO.
I guess that's the only one that has a good, decent shot. I mean, I'm sorry for Ashes of Creation,
like
people.
Fortnite.
That thing is not gonna work. I'm sorry, bro. I've seen it. I'm not impressed.
What would you say, Jerome?
It's gonna look exactly like Fortnite. And it's gonna have sick dances, and we're gonna be like dabbing or whatever. And it's gonna be awesome. I know it's gonna also be mostly played on phone too.
I'm straight up. If I'm playing the right MMO and I'm in PvP and I get like dumpstered on by like a fucking 12-year-old and then he fucking dabs on me live to like thousands of views,
He will.
I'm taking a bath in my toaster.
Okay. Well, that'll be happening. So,
But get ganked by a rogue
if that happens, that's how people are playing the game. It's not just the old generation; it's the young generation, and that's a good thing. Because like that goes to show you everyone's playing the game and everyone's involved. If someone freaking decides to do the Harlem Shake of my body, you know what I mean, while I'm packed up, let them do it. I don't care. Bring back some old ones. I don't care, dude. Like let me see it.
By the time that it comes out, we're all gonna be 45. We're gonna be the dads.
How old do you think I am?
I 31.
40.
No, okay. No, that's some bullshit. Like, be honest. Give me a proper guess, Medina.
34.
I know, about my age, I'm 26.
I'm gonna stay in my 20s forever. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I've left the 20s, and
this beard fools people. It makes it think I look old, but really underneath this is a child. So I will stay in my 20s forever.
Someone commented on one of my videos being like, Eben, you're almost 40. It's time to move on. I'm like, 40? Not even 30 yet. What do you mean 40?
You lost your childlike innocence, okay? There's a glint in my eyes. That's the difference.
The thing is, you have a family, Ebonhardt, and WoW people don't have families until we're like 40. So
True.
It's just
40.
And people see this and they just assume I've got a well put together life. And they're right.
Yeah.
But man, fuck you. I'm not 40.
That's funny.
I ain't having kids until I'm like 48. bro. I'm gonna go take them to school on a wheelchair or something. That's my life.
Do you think Medina, with that race car bed that he has behind him, has any girlfriends?
Oh yeah, bro. It's
Can you
awesome.
imagine?
Like sometimes they fall over and they hit the floor. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, they eat beans together on stream.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Can you
That's such a
imagine
good
being a
date.
girl and getting taken home and like you enter his fucking like his house and it's like, okay, and this is where the magic happens. The points of fucking Lightning McQueen bed.
It's like a child's bed. I'm not trying to be like it's like a smaller bed.
I am poor. I live in a
That feels
third world
mean-spirited.
country.
I'm
It's not that
just
way
saying.
here, okay? Okay,
I'm
and the
just
fact I
saying,
have
like, it's like-
a roof over my head is impressive, okay?
I didn't
I
mean
got
it like that.
electricity and indoor plumbing. What do you got, loser?
But it said he got the Toys R Us bed, bro. He said he's got.
I didn't mean it like that, man. It's just like it's. I don't know if it's the angle, but it looks smaller than a bed normally does.
Yeah, no, he's kind of tiny, but I'm a tiny man.
Lay down in the bed.
Bro, dude, lay the.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Dude, the feet are hanging off, bro. Someone's gonna pull your shoes off, dude.
How tall are you?
You're like, what is it? Remember Elf? Remember Buddy Elf from the Will
I do
Ferrell?
remember that. You know?
When he's sitting on the little chair, he's sitting on the little. Dude,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, how tall are you, Medina?
I'm not very tall at all. I'm like meter 71. So I don't know what's that in
That'll be- take a
Anglo-Saxon
minute here,
units.
71.
That's
5'6".
It's like 5'6". Okay.
oh shit, oh.
You know,
that
the
bed
worst part is
is
I do
5'6".
own a bigger bed and I don't want to have it because it annoys me that I got set up a bed that's twice as long.
Mm.
Well, it needs to be wider if you're gonna have any girlfriends over. You know what? Never mind. Let's just moving on.
Bro,
Top five
no,
affixes.
she's gonna be on
Jerome is
top
so
of me the whole
invested in
time.
his
You
sex
suck at
life.
this. You suck at this,
Jerome,
bro.
what kind of podcast is going on
Top
here,
5
bro?
affixes. Number
What's
Can
5,
you imagine
yellow.
clicking on this for like the Blackwing Lair and then you join
Number
in and
4
it's like,
FX
hey,
is
fucking a girl in
blue.
that bed, man.
What they're talking about?
Well, I gotta tell you, viewership is speaking, so
you
whatever you're doing is
dogs.
working.
You dogs, you animals.
What is viewership at?
Straight
I
What do you
don't know,
guys think
dogs
about
about
right
viewers,
now.
so
the
is
flex
dead.
rating? What do you think about the flex rating? It's pretty cool that you can bring 25 people, right?
Yeah,
And
you
it
know,
doesn't matter the
like,
size of the
I
bed.
had a girl on top of me in the bed the other day, and she was saying like, you know, this flex rating thing is awesome, but I wish I couldn't fall off your bed.
True. Wow. You were
None of
parsing
this will be in
hard.
the
You were,
podcast.
you were parsing hard that night, I assume.
You were passing. It was Gray, sadly. He passed.
You
Gray
you were
that night.
great parsing?
Not me.
Oh,
I'm orange. I'm
Brother,
legendary.
let me
Wait,
tell you
no,
this
no,
right
you
now.
get it right.
You
You
give
get
me
it wrong. If you
you-
parse well, if you get a 99, it's because you kill the boss too fast. You parse too good.
That's true.
Ooh.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're
Oh,
saying.
that's
there.
interesting.
Oh, so you want to go slower,
So
Yeah.
you want to get green. You don't want to gray because it means
a little bit in between.
you need
So
to
don't
be
pop us-
green. 50.
Yeah,
50 is
50,
what's that.
50 average. You want to keep it mixed. You never know.
I can't relate to this conversation at all.
True. I have to talk to my mom.
Are you a
later.
virgin?
Well, I told you this before, guys.
Next question.
Like I am staging a no sex protest until we get Classic Plus. So far, I've been on the 100th month, and like I'm taking this very
I've been
seriously.
doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
How are you on
the
the
100
It's all
month? We had
right
a girl
here.
over last
It's all
week.
right here. You don't get it. You don't get it. It's all right here, okay? It's
What
different.
is that?
It's different. Yeah, like this book tells me it's for paladins.
Is that the Holy Bible?
Yeah, of
How
course.
the
I
hell
got
did
the
you
Holy
acquire
Bible.
that? How did you
Where did
acquire
you
that
get that
book from the
from?
cathedral?
You weren't supposed to have
I
that.
stole it.
Who,
I went to
who
Catholic
allowed,
school, bro.
who allowed you guys to take that book from us?
From us. The fuck you mean us?
From the cathedral. Stole it straight
We
out of
play really hard
Stormwind.
here.
I could see.
All right. Well, we should move on to the next topic. What's next?
I don't think I
We're
got
out
a
of
next
topics.
topic. I was kind of stalling, not gonna lie.
I know, I can tell. There's no topics left.
Let me see.
No, he
Hey.
went through them all. He didn't
I mean,
want to
yeah,
talk
we
about
went
flex
through-
I don't wanna
rating.
live in
tried to
this
set him
world
up for
anymore.
it, but
We went through. What the fuck? He's got two
There's-
beds?
oh god.
Bro, what's going on? I'm so
Bunk beds.
lost right now. I'm
We
so
got bunk
gone.
beds.
Bro, what the hell's going on?
You know those weighted pillows that make you feel like you're like safe. I want to get one of those. Or not weighted pillows, weighted blankets.
You want a weighted pillow?
Weighted pillows would be murder. That would be bad to have that.
That weighted pillow makes you
Oh,
feel sick.
I do have a topic while we're here, actually.
Mm.
Are they going to acknowledge Classic's 5th anniversary? Yes or no?
Nah, they don't care. If they care, they would
They
have made a
are-
BlizzCon.
okay.
I mean,
See, I had this in my head. The
when it-
20th anniversary,
Yeah.
they're doing a whole classic BRD, except they're doing it in retail. And it's like
Yeah.
12 extra bosses. It's like all new mechanics, but you don't get it in classic. We got to go to retail to play it. And they're doing like Encourage gate opening in retail. Like they're doing all the stuff that we want,
And it costs
except it's in retail.
$100.
it's all in retail,
Well,
which is so
it
weird.
just- It costs whatever New World, War Within costs.
Does it? My Latin friend from Mexico, he bought it for $40. The War Within.
I bought it
They
for
removed the
$100.
regional pricing.
kinda hit.
They removed it. It used to be that I
Oh,
paid
you're
nothing for
Argentina.
WoW, and now I pay something for
Right.
WoW. Same in Turkey. They got rid of regional prices in Turkey.
I
It
forgot.
freaking sucks.
He's not in. Yeah.
Freaking
that's,
sucks, man. I used to pay like $2 a month for this game. Now I gotta pay the same as you guys do.
When
It's
is
not fair.
the fifth? When is the 5th anniversary for WoW?
I think it's actually passed. It was in August.
Was it like September or August something? August 26th? August 24th?
Yeah,
Did you get
August
that?
26th. But to be fair, they celebrate it later in the year anyway. So like typically even they don't celebrate the anniversary on the day of because for WoW's 20th anniversary was 2 months ago, 3 months ago, same August or September. I forget exactly when it was. So they celebrate the event after, not the day of. So like Warcraft 20th anniversary was I think a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Because they data mine like the MOP Classic models for Cataclysm. It's like these nice Shah models, so cool. You get MOP Classic is coming. We knew it was coming. It's not like a surprise. Everybody knew it was. The survey's already out, so we're getting MOP Classic.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's
You know
the
what's
only
really
thing
cool,
we
though?
fucking found.
Do you
You can
think
get
they'll
the
announce
Spyro
the 5th?
Shield in retail. It's
Oh
being
my God.
reused in the retail event.
You can literally get all the SoD stuff, by the way, in retail. Every single
great.
piece, which is like
I'm gonna have
goes
a
to show-
full Bissod character in retail.
That's
Okay, never mind.
that's
Sorry,
insane.
it hasn't been 20 years yet. 20 years was November 23rd. So they started the 20th anniversary a month before WoW's official 20th anniversary.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Well,
They're
I'll
gonna
be
give you
there
a
on
free
my
pet or
Evoker.
something.
But to be fair, that you also think about they had like the alpha and beta, so WoW's been out for longer than 20 years, but like technically it's November 23rd.
I guess
Um,
let me. I guess I have a good question to ask. Then at this point, do you guys think they're gonna announce Phase 6 sooner than you think?
They got to. Like they are changing stuff all the time. You
But
would
when?
think
But
so.
I mean earlier than expected. Because here's the thing, I think after this month, I think a lot of people are gonna get everything they need out of BWL and Thunderin. Like probably everything. Majority
hope
of
they
it,
do.
I would
Then it's
say.
time for alts, baby.
And
300% XP
for
boost.
sure. But like, do you think they're gonna announce the next phase earlier than expected and release it quick, or is it gonna be? You think it's gonna be? Or do you think this phase is gonna last long?
I think it's gonna be a long one. Feels like a
Think
long
so.
one. I mean,
Mm.
MC
I
wasn't
sure
that.
hope
I don't know
not.
how long that was, but probably about that long.
Wasn't MC 2.5 months?
I mean, this is 2 raids. We're getting ZG, which is usually like 3 months. So, yeah, I think it'll be
To be
like
fair,
3
it's not
months.
enough content. I'm not gonna lie. The issue I have with Fresh as well, like it's not enough content. Like I feel like we're reaching that precipice of we need Classic Plus. It's like we need an announcement. So even if this shit isn't boring, we at least have something to work towards. Like Warcraft the Rex in 2-3 weeks, 4 if we're unlucky. Then what?
I don't know. Does your dog
they don't-
have hair?
Okay, I'm not shaving my dog. Okay. I gifted the subs for fucking up. All right, I was wrong, and I gifted the subs. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
shaving
that's
my
not
dog.
what you
I never agreed to
said.
that. No, I didn't say I was gonna shave my dog. I said I would gift the subs and I would kill my hardcore character. And I did both.
I
Hey, what
did shave
level
my
was it?
dog and
Oh
I
my
didn't
God.
even do anything. I just
What'd you
don't
say,
like
Drew?
having hair on my dog.
Hey, what level was your hardcore character?
12.
Oh, that's a lot of time. That's like 8 hours. 4 hours.
My character
It's-
died at 45. Sad times.
Yeah.
Miss him.
I mean, I walked my character into a lake and I just drowned myself.
Oh,
It's always nice.
yeah, it's a nice way of going out.
Yeah, I was like, I
Very
apologize, and I gave an inspirational speech, and I drowned myself. So my character's like in the water.
Just
So when
Well,
is
hunched up
Warcraft
drown
Direct
position.
happening? Or
Nice.
are you gonna you have a date?
It's same time as usual. I still think it's the official Warcraft Direct is going to be the regular BlizzCon date, so like November 2nd to 5th in that time frame. But they haven't announced it yet, which is the surprising part because like they would want hype, so people are like hyped up and waiting for it to have that countdown. Like,
Kinda
well, they're going to
sucks for
announce
the
at Warcraft
journalists.
Direct.
Unless they have nothing to announce, and then they wouldn't
I
want
think
to.
that's
we
the
we don't
problem.
do Mob Classic. Even if they are announcing Mob Classic, Cataclysm's next phase, and SoD's next phase, that is three
But,
huge
bro,
things for.
They can announce that in
Classic.
an email to SoD players. They can just send an email
Right.
out and a tweet.
But they also have the
The
retail
leaders
stuff.
event.
The
This should have been an email.
11.0.5, 11.1. They also have like 11.1.5. They have like midnight teasers. We know they're working on Warcraft stuff. Like Microsoft's Greenlight shit got leaked. Like we know they've like greenlighted like 30 fucking projects. They could just announce a teaser for a Warcraft RPG or a Warcraft 4 10-second trailers and then just waffle on about retail. Like they're clearly working on shit. But
I
they're
don't
not
know.
talking
Blizzard
about it.
has like a long time problem of like getting budget, spending money, and stuff doesn't get made. And I think Microsoft is probably gonna be really cautious this year, just trying to make sure that whatever they wanna greenlight actually gets made. I don't think they got much progress on anything they started yet. They are probably just still reshuffling people out. Because like you saw like that 6-year project of the survival game that didn't even make it out to like testing phase.
Did you see the images? It looked amazing.
Okay.
That shit looked clean. It looked like one of the coolest survival games I've seen. I don't know why they cancelled it. Probably was a reason, I'm sure. But
I'm sure if I gave you that game for 2 minutes, it would become very evident for you why they canceled it. Anybody.
probably. But okay, look, all I'm saying is let's be honest here. If they gave a 10-second trailer of Classic Plus, no release date, no time, no nothing, you're telling me you wouldn't be hyped.
Yeah, I think they are trying to save the hype for later. I think that's what they are trying to do.
For what?
For when it's
What are they trying to
closer,
save
or
at
when
this point?
they are gonna do it. They said they kind of plan to do BlizzCon next year. Maybe they want to do it then.
I think I know why they want to do it is because they just want. My conspiracy is that I just think they want a lot more people getting to retail. They want a lot more people being involved with retail. Retail has a better plan, has a better format. 25th anniversary. It's living off the hype of nostalgia of Tier 2, one of the most iconic times in World of Warcraft. They're trying to gain people's attention and sucker them into retail. And for the most part, it's very possible if they're looking at their charts and graphs, they're seeing that the line is going up for classic players converting into retail players. Look at even content creators. Content creators are starting to convert into retail content because it just doesn't really seem like right now that there's anything to discuss much on SoD besides, phase prepping and guides and, maybe talking about a couple patch notes here and there on Wowhead, But in reality, I think it's, and I'm concerned this is the case, but like, I have faith in Classic Plus and the direct and maybe some hype for it, but I just really think they're just trying to get people to move on to the bandwagon of retail. They're slowly but surely it's kind of working for them, and maybe SoD was as a test for it.
Well, I assume they have they want the retail to get like 3 months of hype, and then they have another thing and another thing, and it wouldn't make sense to take any of that hype away. Right? Any oxygen taken away from retail could hurt retail.
Because it makes them the most money.
Yeah.
You
like
think
when
of it,
SoD
think of
is
it from a
coming
money
out, they don't want to
perspective,
announce. If SoD is happening and it's really hype.
Add a store to Classic Plus. I'll buy the Spit emote for $19.95. Like,
yeah, but it's just the thing is like, I think they have a marketing team that already has came to a decision. They've already have plans in place. There's already paperwork and a roadmap they're following. And even though SoD had that boom and had that hype for a bit, and it still is much better in a position than it was in phase three. I think we can all agree on that. I just think right now, at the moment, the fact of the matter is this: mounts in a shop alone are making more money for them than anything, and retail is just right now a hot commodity. It has a longer lifespan. It has a future ahead on where and how many versions are about to come out. They have the nostalgia bait, which they're going to grab people from Classic wanting to make a retail character and get their tier 2 on retail. They're really doing things that are really taking away from the SoD community, the Cataclysm community as well, even because Cat is still booming. Cat actually has, I think, more players than SoD right now, from what I saw, at least on raid logs, but logs are not everything. But I will say, I genuinely think that, it's all planned for them to eventually get people into retail. And until we really hear that Classic Plus announcement, I do agree with you, Evan. I do think there should be hype, and we do need hype sooner than later, because then it gets to the point. It's like, what happens? Like, let me ask you guys this, and I guess for people who are watching too, what happens if you play this version of Season of Discovery for another 2 months with no announcements? I'm gonna say 2 months, because
Depends
including
on the
Warcraft
content that
Direct,
comes out.
because but that's the
Hey,
thing.
what happened
Let's
in
say if
Era
Warcraft
when they
Direct,
didn't do anything for 2 years
Yeah.
though, and
Let's-
everyone kept playing it.
True, I'm just saying, but I mean, what happens overall? Like, do you think that it retains the same 90,000 plus players that SoD has been retaining for another
So
2
you're
months,
saying
or do you think
no
that number goes
news.
down?
So the Game Awards come by and like it's over. So January 1st comes by and no announcement at all.
No announcements of Classic Plus, no announcements of anything they're doing with SoD, and then possibly a late announcement of Phase 6, but that's it. What happens? Do you think it's just
I
people
think
just
SoD will crater downwards. I think it'll
Like-
be 50, maybe
That will be
40k
game
players.
Because, like, I personally think this. I think I agree with Jerome. I think people will still be playing the game. I think people are still playing Classic Era right now as we speak, like, besides SoD. But I'm saying that I think the numbers will definitely take a dip, and it will be noticeable. And, like, I hope they don't follow the footstep and the direction that they did with Phase 3, because Phase 3 really hindered the game. And there really wasn't anything hyped or cool armor to really be going forward. The loot in, what was it? Sunken Temple was kind of, garbage. And I honestly think that overall, Phase 5 can only hold on for so long. Yeah, Tier 2's hype, don't get me wrong, but, like, how long will that hype last until we need new content? So,
If they don't announce Classic Plus, they don't give us like, if they at least announce like a Karazhan or a Scarlet raid for SoD, it'll be fine, right? Like if they announce that at least. But if like literally all we get is, hey guys, AQ40 is coming. Here's one new world boss, no new dungeons, no like nothing even remotely plus. I think SoD will probably dip below 50k.
Especially
Cataclysm
because
Fireland-
AQ is so unpopular.
Yeah.
AQ is like so less liked than any other raid in Classic. Easily the least liked tier, in my opinion. I don't think anybody hates
100%.
other tier more than AQ.
And like
Yeah.
with Cataclysm, it might I think Firelands will bring it back up to 200k, maybe 250 if they're lucky. I don't think Cataclysm is gonna be 300k again.
I don't think it's gonna
Um,
recover. I don't see it recovering at all.
I mean, we know in November there's a big hardcore thing, right? Whether that's OTK or a fresh or something like that, right? So we know at least we're getting that. But if that's all that gets announced, just a seasonal hardcore fresh with OTK, 200k prize pool bullshit, whatever, I think SoD might like literally hemorrhage out people out the ass from that. I think like
Pretty scary.
most content creators I know right now, without naming any names, pretty much most people, and I'm gonna even use players. I've had dozens upon dozens of players reach out to me, hundreds of comments that if Classic Plus or Karazhan or Scarlet Raid or something doesn't get announced soon, they're all jumping to retail or other MMOs or this or that. Like it's Classic is in this weird position where they genuinely need to give us anything as a Classic player. Like, yeah, cool, Mob Classic. No one gives a shit. Then, sure, there's a percentage of people that want to play Mob. I don't want to take that away from them, but Jerome, if the only news we get is Mob Classic and AQ40, what are you doing?
I'm getting my panda ready, baby. Let's go.
Jerome is not welcome in this channel anymore.
No, I mean, no, it's
Mi-
cool. Yeah, hell
Mr.
yeah. What about
Pandera
you?
Classic, baby.
No.
What about you, Tello? That's all we get. AQ and a Mob Classic. What are you doing with that news?
I mean, dude, honestly, I will be upset. Don't get me wrong. I will be upset. But yeah, I mean, Jerome might be onto something, because at the end of the day, it is content, and I think people will play Mop Classic, believe it or not. I mean, and also there was a lot of good dungeons and raids in Mop. Honestly, Mop was actually really good. So I know people at the time early on hated it, but a lot of people more as we went through like the years, people enjoyed like Mop was actually a good expansion. So I genuinely think I would make content on Mop Classic, and obviously Paladin stuff. I would have to do that. I can't stay the SoD. Like what's
That's my
SoD gonna
fear,
do?
man. Like we had such an
What
amazing
would
year
SoD
for
do?
Classic now, and like, what if next year there's nothing? What if we gotta do hardcore for an entire year? I think I'm Persona 3 myself at that point.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do hardcore a whole year, but I would just like try
That
to.
was last year. Last year it was only
I-
hardcore, right? Sucked.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's gonna be the case though. I genuinely think it's gonna be them announcing new things. Hopefully, stuff with SoD. And I think listen, it's one thing being worried and concerned, overly concerned, but like at the same time, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what happens in a month. Let's see what happens with the direct. Hopefully, we get some good news. I'm sure there'll be great content from all of us, and everybody will enjoy it. And I think honestly, I think the best thing to do right now is be optimistic more than anything, rather than have a doomer mentality. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Oh, no,
Closing
for
it
sure,
with a
sure.
prayer. Closing the stream with a prayer
Yeah.
right now. I like that.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay,
Of course.
just before
Okay.
you pray, I just need to
May
say,
God
I'm hyped. I
help
believe in Classic
Agrin.
Plus. Yeah, bless Agrin. Hallelujah.
True. And also, I actually
Protect us
have
and save us.
I have a surprise thing in a couple days I will be doing. Hopefully, it comes sooner or later for a Halloween thing. The Templar Paladin stream is going to be going live, and we got a full cosplay going on. So settle down. It's going to be a damn good one. That's going to be a fun time. I can't wait to show you guys that. It's going to be a blast.
That sounds sick.
It's going to be a
Sounds
really
awesome.
good time.
That
We're
looks
gonna
like a
have
GIMP
slow
helmet,
homies.
by the way.
It is a GIMP helmet, for sure.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
There it is.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Peace, everybody.
Much love. This
Much
has been
love,
the
guys.
unofficial podcast. We're also on Spotify. Subscribe to Jerome. Nohitjerome on Twitch. Ebonhardt. They got a D before the T. TV
Oh,
on
God.
YouTube. And HelloJtello on Twitch and YouTube. Give them some love. Cuddle them. Cherish them, because you never know when you're gonna miss them. And thank you
You
for
never know when we might die. You never know.
watching.